been the face mask.
Good morning, everybody. What is going on? Happy
Good morning.
Sunday.
Good afternoon. Whatever the time of day
Good
is.
night, good
wherever
evening.
you are. Yeah. All of those things. Hope everybody had a fantastic Christmas.
Yep. Happy holidays all around.
Yeah, all of the holidays, however you spend this time of year, hopefully it's a good time of year. But we got playoff football. Playoff fantasy football anyway.
Yeah, we had some matchups of note last night.
Yeah. Packers the Packers played the Browns and the Browns kept it pretty close.
Closer than I thought. I was surprised when I looked up and the score was 22-24. And the Browns were driving down the field, but
yeah, Baker did everything he could to lose the game for the team.
3 interceptions, right?
Four.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not very good by Baker Mayfield. But Nick Chubb had a huge day. Aaron Rodgers had an Aaron Rodgers day. Devontae Adams had a huge day.
Allen Lazard came through to anybody we suggested start Allen Lazard last night.
Anybody, well, he should have had a bigger day. He dropped a touchdown. But that worked out. And then the night game, the Colts beat the Cardinals and didn't need a massive game from Jonathan Taylor to do it.
Did anybody in the chat need to swerve away from James Conner? That was news that came out after our live stream. So
that dropped late.
Yeah, hopefully you were able to swerve successfully off of him.
Hopefully, backup plans.
Yeah. What's going on? Talking Sunday with the DMX reference. I like it.
Yes, sir.
What's going
Good way
on?
to start a playoff.
I'd imitate him, but I can't do that.
We'll spare everybody.
R.I.P. X. Noah Gray ?
Obviously the big news of today is that Travis Kelce was not able to test out of COVID protocols. He is out against the Steelers.
Yep.
Is it Noah Gray season? I'm not exactly ready to go there. But if anybody cares to read up a little bit or listen up a little bit on Noah Gray, John did put out a video way back in the offseason on him. So if you search Noah Gray on our channel, it's a little out.
It is more dynasty forward than anything redraft forward. But yeah, feel free to check it out.
If you're desperate for today, I would say not Noah Gray.
Yeah, there's got to be some other options out there. And for everybody that's playing somebody that was planning on Kelce in their lineup and have some bench space, go out and pick up every tight end of note to block your opponent.
Yeah, if you really want to be rude.
Yep, like me. I did that.
Yeah, well, I did that to you as well with Justin Jackson. So.
Payback.
Yeah.
What's going on, Big Pun?
What's going on, Big Pun? Yeah, Pittman had a good day. I think last night was it you, Big Pun, in the comments? It was like between Pittman, Devontae Smith, and one other guy, DJ Moore. We said go Pittman. So yeah, 8 for 82, right? Like 85 total yards.
Yep.
Including the little
12
end around.
targets again.
Yep. Yeah. Typical floor game for Pittman. So strong day. Now, as far as Justin Jackson or Javonte Williams,
I think we had this question yesterday.
We had this yesterday,
Javonte.
and we were going Javonte. Jackson should get plenty of work today in a great matchup, but Javonte's just the better player, and despite being in a timeshare, it's been a reliable timeshare. I'm not afraid of Javonte Williams just because he might only see 15 touches. He's good enough to deliver. Justin Jackson might see 20 or more touches. I'd rather have Javonte with 15.
Yeah, it's a talent issue versus It's talent versus workload.
One's
going to get a lot more touches, but is nowhere near as talented as the other guy. And one guy has been known and has proven to do the most off of limited touches, doing the most off of split in the backfield. And I made this point yesterday. While he is the 1B in that backfield, he's the second option in that whole offense. I wouldn't put any of the wide receivers or the tight ends over him in terms of the hierarchy of the offensive output of that offense. It goes Melvin Gordon, then it's Javonte. And then it's everybody else. So, yeah, we're big fans of Javonte. Keep playing him until he proves us wrong. And that might not ever happen. He might not ever prove us wrong. So, keep going.
He's too good.
Keep going. Good morning, Tanya. What's going on? Thanks for joining us 2 days in a row.
Tanya, Dirtbag, Elias.
You too, Dirtbag, Elias. What's going on?
Yeah.
Happy holidays to you too. All right, Tanya. CEH or Mixon half PPR now that Kelsey is out?
Clyde gets a boost for sure. I think, though, Mixon is a guy that I still have to have over him.
Yeah.
Clyde
Mixon
gets
the edge in workload, and if there's an edge in talent, I believe it goes to Mixon.
Here's my question for you. Yesterday we got Clyde or Najee. You said Najee, I said Clyde. Do you still feel that way now, knowing Kelsey?
I was saying that because Freiermuth was out, and it looked like both of the Chiefs' playmakers were going to be playing.
Yeah.
I don't know. Before we get stuck in the weeds, let's make sure we get to all these questions because
I just wanted to pose it. I just wanted to pose it.
I mean, we'll get back to it when we have time, but I just want to make sure we get through all the questions in the chat so we're not stuck in a situation like yesterday where some people didn't get their questions answered before kickoff.
Before kickoff, right?
Yeah.
I would say Mixon Tanya is still ahead of Clyde, but Clyde definitely gets a boost over some other. There are some other RB1s that I do like Clyde over. I think I still have to give a slight edge to Mixon though.
Yeah, I would go Mixon there still. Yep. Mark B. Schramm, what's going on? Kadarius Toney or Joshua Palmer in full point PPR? Josh Palmer.
Yeah.
I'd be going Josh Palmer. It looks like Kadarius Toney is going to be playing, but he's playing coming off an injury, playing a little bit banged up. Joshua Palmer, last time that one of the Chargers' top 2 wide receivers was out, he caught a touchdown. And I think Jalen Guyton's on the COVID list too. So
is he?
He should.
Obviously,
he should be that team's a starting outside wide receiver for the Chargers. So yeah, Joshua Palmer.
Yeah, no Mike Williams, no Austin Eckler. The targets need to be redistributed somewhere. Made a nice play last week. By the way, if anybody is playing on Yahoo and has Travis Kelce, he has officially been ruled out, so you can put him on IR and make your transaction as needed, like I just did. Just wanted to throw that out there. But yeah, I would go Palmer, Mark. I would go Palmer.
Yep. Matangs, what's happening? Good morning.
Morning, Matangs.
Hey, I hope you had a wonderful holiday too.
Thanks. Yeah, it was a good holiday. John, you entertained family. I entertained the dog. I didn't have any plans this year.
Your fam lives all on the
the fam was going
on the West Coast, right?
The fam was going to visit from the East Coast to the West Coast this year, but it's go figure. It's raining in LA every day this week. Since Christmas Eve, it's been raining every day. So the trip was not worth, it didn't materialize because it wasn't worth putting together because of go figure. It's just raining in LA all day this week. Or each day this week. Ridiculous.
All right.
So it's okay. It's fine. The holiday was fine all the same. We got a full slate of football, so I'm doing just fine. As far as Justin Jackson or Ronald Jones, Ronald Jones is, for me, the guy who I feel like everybody's in on this week except for me.
And me.
I know he's should get all the work. And I said this yesterday, John, before you were able to join. We got a lot of Ronald Jones questions yesterday. Ronald Jones should see the bulk of backfield touches for Tampa, and they are down a slew of their regular offensive playmakers. So somebody needs to step up. It looks like a smash spot for Ronald Jones. It really does. But Bruce Arians has shown in the past it doesn't take that much for him to put Ronald Jones in the doghouse. I know he doesn't have Leonard Fournette to fall back on to do that.
Is Le'Veon Bell activated?
I don't know that Le'Veon Bell will be activated, but I think he was signed to the active roster. Keyshawn Vaughn is obviously still there. Neither of those two guys scare me as far as Ronald Jones' workload. I don't know. I'm not I can't get on the Ronald Jones bandwagon. This is where I think I pivot to Justin Jackson. Both have good matchups. Both are in good offenses. Both are in good situations. But this is a situation where I think I lean Jackson. I don't know. I can't get behind Ronald Jones. If I get burned, so be it. I know most experts are high on him this week, have him penciled in as an RB1 as far as their projections. I can't get behind it. The options behind him aren't good, but Bruce Arians has proven he'll bench him for less.
All right, well, right now, as it stands right now, the QB1 is Josh Allen, the QB2 is Justin Herbert, and the QB3 is Tom Brady. Now, the Chargers are without
quarterbacks.
Are basically rolling out Keenan Allen and a rookie and a very old tight end, right?
Yeah.
That would be a tight end too at the top of his at his ceiling.
And
Tom Brady has more weapons to use in that offense
is on
right
the COVID list, by the way.
So by default, I'm going the running back for the Chargers because I think he's going to be needed more for that team to win.
Yep.
I'm not even looking at the two from a talent perspective. I'm looking at the personnel that's going to be on the field for them, and the route to which they need to take in terms of production and who to divvy up targets to and touches to in order to win. And edge to me is Justin Jackson. Yep.
Dirtbag, I know. I when Lazard caught that second touch or didn't catch that second touchdown, that was like that was his opportunity for a moonshot day that just went out the window.
Hey, he got us looking. He had us looking good pretty early.
Looking good early. So, I don't know. Did he get a target after that second drop? I don't even remember. I feel like he didn't.
Yeah, he did.
Maybe. Oh, yeah. He maybe saw a couple.
He did.
But anyway, yeah, just missed a monster day, but still had a good day for fantasy purposes.
Yep.
Either way, big pun. Yeah, let's beat the Giants today, man. Fly, Eagles, fly.
Jake Fromm, do it.
Shouldn't be.
Shut him down.
Shouldn't be hard. Although I've seen weirder things happen. Lost Eckler and Kelsey to COVID. Yeah, man. You're talking to two people who are facing each other. One of us has Eckler, the other has Kelsey. So the pain is real.
Yep.
So if you need help with replacements, let us know. It looks like you maybe put a couple questions in the comment section below, so we will get to it.
Yep.
Daggers, what's going on?
Daggers.
Let's see. Pick 2, 1 flex. So is that pick
1
3
flex,
in
1 wide
total?
receiver.
One pick. Oh, I see. Sorry, 1 wide receiver.
Yeah.
1 flex, 1 wide receiver. Got it.
Gallup, St. Brown, Josh Palmer, Berrios, Pollard, Zeke owner.
And you have Zeke. Okay, and it's half PPR. Palmer probably has.
Have you heard any news about Swift?
That's a good question. I haven't, so I assume as of right now he is in, or has. Let's put it this way: has not been ruled out. Haven't seen anything on Swift. I think Palmer here has the best opportunity and situation. I think Palmer would be.
I'd go Palmer firmly over Berrios.
Yeah, Palmer's got a chance for a big play, and I would say has a greater chance for a touchdown. Berrios might be a decent full PPR volume guy, but since it's half PPR, still enticing, maybe a little less enticing. I think my default is Gallup. I say Palmer and Gallup. Gallup, there's just a talent tier break among these other guys. I know Dallas hasn't been playing well recently, but it's only been a 2-game stretch. Gallup caught a touchdown against the Saints a few weeks ago, a couple weeks ago. It wasn't that long ago. They're at home in prime time. I'm not afraid of the Cowboys receivers just because it's been rough sledding for a couple weeks in a row. I would say Palmer and Gallup.
Now, if news comes out during the stream or whatever that DeAndre Swift is not playing, then I would advocate Palmer and St. Brown. I would swerve off of Gallup, but I agree with you.
Okay. I would not, but I see it.
I would play Gallup and Palmer like you suggested. So, yeah.
Palmer and Gallup tentatively. It's up to you, Daggers, if you want to pivot to St. Brown in the event Swift is ruled out. John Wood, I personally don't think I would, but that's your call.
Yo, Elias, nice. Solid.
There we go.
I would play the Patriots.
Start the Patriots or the Chargers? I would play the Chargers defense. I know the Patriots have the best they have the best unit in the league. But Josh Allen is Josh Allen versus the Chargers going up against a Brandon Cooks-less Houston Texans offense led by a rookie.
Ooh.
I would take my chances with the Chargers. Well,
That's tough.
I don't know. I don't know what that noise was. If that was you grappling with the decision.
No, that was me. Yeah, that was me. That was a grappling with the decision noise. Sorry. No, because it's like, do I go with the? I mean, you're up for 30. Do I go with the good matchup or do I go with the best defense in the league?
Yeah, the safe play is the Patriots. See, here's the thing, Elias. Projections are just that. Projections. It's not firm yet. The Patriots are a safe play and should be fine. They should be okay. The Chargers.
I think I would swerve to the Chargers.
The Chargers, I feel like, have the much better matchup.
How is the Houston team going? How is the Houston Texans team going to put up offense? Brevin Jordan and Nico Collins.
Brevin Jordan, man.
Yeah, but I mean, what are we expecting? Ceiling of
I don't know.
14 points.
I would say
from
I would say the Chargers.
Chargers.
I would say the Chargers.
It takes a lot for me to move off of the Patriots right now, but considering the Bills matchup and the fact that the weather is supposed to not be a factor this game,
right?
It's not supposed to be the Wingate for the Bills Patriots game, so I would go Chargers too.
Chargers too. Jonathan, what's going on? Nice to see you again.
Jonathan?
Justin Jackson, Javonte Williams, Damian Harris, Michael Carter. Damian Harris is expected to go. We got an update today that he should be fine despite the injury designation. Brutal matchup despite being at home.
You're starting Javonte.
Javonte is one of your... Javonte is in. It comes down to for me, it's between Jackson and Damian Harris. Jackson has the significantly better matchup.
I'd be going Jackson here because
Jackson
there
has the
are
significantly
three
better
running backs
matchup
that have had good games against the Bills. It's been Derrick Henry, Jonathan Taylor, and Damian Harris, who had one big run when the Patriots ran every single play with the exception of 3 offensive plays where they passed.
He was running well that whole game. He was
running well,
hurt.
but he broke that long one early, and it made that box score look a whole lot better. And the Bills' defense otherwise has been pretty decent against the run. Not great, but pretty damn good, and they're one of the best overall defenses in the league. Houston is not, to your point. So I would go Javonte Williams, Justin Jackson. I would not be playing
with
Damian Harris today. Just
the hamstring,
because I don't believe the Bills' defense is a defense to attack against the run unless you have unless the weather's firmly going that way, or you have a Derrick Henry, Jonathan Taylor.
I think the Bills' defense is going to be fired up to play today. I think
the Bills' team is going to be fired up to play today. They're going to need to throw more than run more to match their offensive output.
Yeah, I feel like the defense specifically. I feel like they feel like they walked away from that game with an opportunity to win it.
They did.
I don't know. I think they play well today.
Didn't they hold the Patriots to 9 points?
Yeah, I mean it was an ugly weather influenced game, but regardless, I don't mind going to Justin Jackson in the much better matchup, but Javonte has to be in.
Yeah.
B, happy holidays.
What's going on, B?
No Kelsey
today. Yeah.
No DJ Moore. That's okay. We want to pivot off him anyway.
Even with the rumors that Darnold's going to be playing. I mean,
hamstring QB carousel. No, thank you.
Yeah.
Start Van Jefferson, Treadwell, Foster Moreau, or Evan Ingram in their place. Van, or do you need 2? You need 2 guys. Van, I would play over DJ Moore, and I would if those are your only 2 options on the wire. Yeah, I would play Moreau. I don't trust Evan Ingram despite the great matchup.
Jake Fromm. I don't
Jake
trust
Fromm and Evan Ingram. He's done nothing to warrant any form of confidence in him as a spot start in any situation, even a favorable one. B, if you've got any other guys on the wire, let us know. Like any other tight ends. Mm-hmm. Like I guess I assume Hunter Henry's not there. Like if these 2 guys are there, but like, is there anybody else? Just curious. If not, then Moreau. But let us know.
And Moreau had a ceiling game last week. He did
Yeah.
He had a ceiling game.
It's a
had
tough
a bunch of
matchup,
targets,
but he's at home. He should be fine. It's just he should be fine, but I don't love it. But Van and Moreau.
Yep.
Danny Jenkins, what's going on,
man? PPR pick two. Barkley, Swift, Justin Jackson, Thielen, Waddle, DJ Moore.
So I think Swift and Thielen need to be in if they're healthy. The advantage here is they're both playing at 1 o'clock, so we will know early if they are in fact in. If Swift
it's in that order,
active,
Swift and then Thielen to me.
If Swift is active, he's got to be in. If Thielen's active, he's got to be in. If Swift is out, I would pivot to Justin Jackson over Saquon Barkley. Yup.
Yeah. Crazy, but I
don't trust Saquon. Jackson's situation is.
I don't trust that
today.
offense. It's not Saquon to me. It's not Saquon to me. It's that offense.
Sure, it's the offense, but yeah. And I would pivot to Waddle if Thielen is out. I would not play DJ Moore with the hamstring injury, and I don't care who the quarterback is for the Carolina Panthers. It could be they could play 3 guys in the game.
When Sam Darnold was on in the beginning of the season, DJ Moore was a wide receiver 1. Firmly. Wide receiver was a wide receiver 1.
We're a long way away from that.
Yeah, we are, but I do have to throw that in there. But with the hammy, with the fact that there is no guarantee that Darnold plays the whole game, we can't go. We can't. I'd rather play Waddle than DJ Moore.
No question.
Yeah. So yeah.
Swift and Thielen, the pivots are Jackson and Waddle. Jackson first, Waddle second. Like if you can afford to do that.
Yep. And Mark B. Joshua.
Mark, we got that one. Yeah, we got that one. DJ Dallas or Devontae Booker. Oof. Dallas?
I would go Dallas.
DJ Dallas. I mean, at least they're at home. The Bears are if last week's game against the Vikings was any indication, the Bears are imploding. Like they look like a train wreck on the field. Dallas at home. Like it's gross. He might get 8 touches, but is he their goal line back? Like it feels like he might be. And I think DJ Dallas mixes in
for sure.
Yeah, right. He mixes in like the 2-minute drill and everything. I think I would play Dallas. Booker might bust off a run here and there. But to your point, this Giants offense just is like they're getting pieces back, but they're still down their quarterback.
It's Jake Fromm.
It's not a good team.
That's all I need to say. It's Jake Fromm. I'm not
like
playing
they'll play
any
hard
today.
They're gonna play hard because it's the Eagles. It's a division opponent. They're gonna come out. They're not gonna lay down in this game. But it feels like their season is. They're looking to get to the finish line. I don't know. I would play Dallas.
I'd play Dallas too. And I know Alex Collins is coming back, and DJ Dallas got run in last week's game because Penny got banged up and had to leave the game for a little bit. So that's why DJ Dallas saw a little bit more work. But if there's anything that we can count on, it's that Rashad Penny's going to get a little bit banged up at some point in the game, and DJ Dallas is going to come in. I feel like that's happened in 3 straight weeks. So I would go DJ Dallas, man. Yep.
Dallas.
Smokey the Cat, what's going on? Talking Sunday. Rojo, Justin Jackson, Javonte pick 2. Javonte and Justin Jackson.
Yeah, I would play Justin Jackson too. I'm not on Rojo. I know. I'll say it again. I know a lot of experts and pundits are on the Ronald Jones hype train this week, and I know a lot of people feel like this is a smash spot for him this week. Maybe he does smash. If he does, I will go down. I will go down arguing the opposite. I don't know. I don't feel good. The vibes aren't there.
He's the running back Russell Gage, and he has to prove it to us multiple weeks in a row for us to change our minds.
Yeah.
It took a long time for us to come around to Russell Gage. It's going to take a long time not a long time, but a couple of weeks of consistent production from Ronald Jones for me to be like, all right, maybe.
By the time we come around to Ronald Jones, the season will be over. Yeah. Jackson in a great matchup, and Javonte as a tier break from a talent perspective.
Yep. And Elias left Jeff Wilson on my bench for Sony Michel. Hope that was not a mistake.
Jeff Wilson didn't have a huge game. I mean, he had a decent game.
I think Sony can match what he did, for sure. I think Sony can do better than what he did.
So, we got, as expected, Cam Akers is not going to play today.
I don't think he played. I read somewhere they activated him for contractual reasons right now.
Okay.
And they might play him at some point in the playoffs, but they activated him.
They're not gonna play him now.
Yeah, let me see if I can pull that up just so I
But Elias, I mean, Sony Michel is in. I think there's, I'm not sure we're out of the woods of Darrell Henderson being left for dead. I feel like he might have more of a role today, but Sony projects to be the 1A now, in a great offense, in a great matchup. You should be all right. I would have benched Jeff Wilson too. The matchup wasn't good. I know he scored. He picked up a couple of catches. He had a decent line. I would have probably, if I were in your situation, I would have done the same thing. You'll be all right.
And Cam Akers, per Adam Schefter, the organization moved forward with this decision because the player needs to be on the active roster for 3 games to receive his pension credit.
Okay.
So that doesn't speak to him playing at all. So don't expect that.
But we got some money out of it.
Yep.
That's a solid move by the Rams.
It is. Yeah. If I was a player, I'd want to play for them.
Smokey the Cat. There's the question. Justin Jackson, Josh Jacobs, or Ronald Jones? Full PPR. Pick 2.
Jackson and Jacobs. Yep.
Yeah, we're not on Ronald Jones. Anybody who, yes, there might be certain either ors where we do go to Ronald Jones, but generally speaking, guys, I think we're kind of in lockstep here. We're not on the Ronald Jones train. If you guys want to if you want to start Ronald Jones, that might be your own accord. And obviously it's your team, it's your call, it's your situation.
And a lot of that
don't
comes
like
from
Ronald
the
Jones in
signals
general
that
today.
Picked up from the team itself. The team has done nothing to show that they have confidence in Ronald Jones. So why should we?
I'd be curious to see if they happen to elevate anybody from the practice squad, because as you know, anytime somebody's elevated from the practice squad this year, especially a running back, they are automatically inserted as that team's RB1 and they deliver. I'm gonna check that. I'm gonna check really quickly Tampa's potential.
Ronald Jones was the RB14 last year, and then the Tampa Bay Buccaneers decided, let's bring back Leonard Fournette, let's bring in Gio Bernard, and let's bury the RB14 from last season on the depth chart because he can't give us anything, give us what we want on the field to win games.
The Bucs elevated 4 players from the practice squad, including Kenjon Barner.
Boom.
That's a running back.
Boom.
Is Kenjon Barner going to step in and be the guy for the Bucs today? I'm not making that call. That's not what I'm saying. But we've seen Craig Reynolds come off the practice squad. We've seen who was the guy for the Jets a couple weeks ago?
Austin Walter.
Yeah. We've seen this happen. I feel like I'm planting my flag, and John, you might be there with me. I think Ronald Jones might be a bit of a trap today. I don't think he's going to totally bust, but I'm off him. I'm off Ronald Jones, guys.
Yeah, I'm off Ronald Jones because the organization that has him on their team is off Ronald Jones, and they're playing him out of necessity.
I'm off Ronald Jones.
Yeah.
I will go down with that ship if it happens to be wrong, so be it. I'm going down with that.
And sometimes, oftentimes this year, and I want to get to the next question soon, but oftentimes this year, Leonard Fournette, his value has come because he caught 8-9 targets. He caught 8-9 passes and didn't really get much done in the run game. Ronald Jones is the first and second down back. Well, yeah, what he got what was asked of him. But I don't see a game plan in which they're throwing to Ronald Jones 8-9 times. So
no, I think AB and Gronk are more likely to make up to pick up the slack there,
and a couple of these other ancillary options. Yeah.
Gotti Miller, yeah. But yeah, that's a long way to say Jackson and Jacob Smokey the Cat, and anybody who's got Ronald Jones in general, we're probably gonna suggest otherwise. But let's move on. Obviously, we'll figure things out as they come up.
Yep. Big pun. It's popping.
Big pun's got Swift, Montgomery, Javonte. Yes, bench Justin Jackson given those guys. But if Swift is out, you can put Jackson in. They both play at 1 o'clock, so that's an easy swap if you have to make it.
Yeah.
But yeah, those first 3, and if Swift is ruled out, you can pivot to Jackson. But Montgomery and Javonte should absolutely be in.
And Marco Coles, what's happening, man?
What's up, Marco?
Pick 1, Joshua Palmer, Terry McLaurin, Van Jefferson, Braxton Berrios, 12-team PPR.
It's like Terry is the talent tier break by a significant amount over these guys, but he's probably in the worst situation by far of all of these guys.
I mean, is AG playing? Is Antonio Gibson? He was
He's expected to play. He's questionable with a toe injury. The vibes are not good as far as like how much he's, how effective he's going to be tonight. But
so he really might. I mean, McLaurin really might be the only guy out there.
He gets Heineke back. I think it has to be Terry from a talent perspective. Like,
yeah.
You don't feel great about it, but Palmer, Berrios, and Van, like, yes, any one of those dudes could be a big play. But Terry's just a tier break above those guys. Terry is a couple tier breaks above those guys from a talent perspective. Terry is the safe play, Marco, that probably should be fired up. If you need an absolute moonshot swing for the fences, I could understand wanting to pivot to a guy like Palmer who should see an increased role and opportunity in a good offense today. I don't know that that's a trigger I can pull.
I'd be playing my studs.
I think
there's enough of a tier break there. And with literally no other playmakers in that offensive note right now, unless AG can put it together and play today, I'd be going Terry McLaurin. He has his quarterback back. It's not Garrett Gilbert.
Yeah, we don't know how effective Gibson will be tonight. I think it's got to be Terry, and you hope for the best.
Yeah.
Like, game script should be in his favor. Washington should be throwing a ton tonight.
Yeah, hope that helps, man.
Yeah.
Nico Seth, what's popping, man?
What's up, Nico? How we feel about Tyler Johnson? I mean, the opportunity's there. Who are your other?
I could see him getting
not
6, 7, 8 targets and catching 4 and 5 of them for 70, 80 yards. Maybe he gets a TD.
Yeah, Nick. I mean, who are your other options, Nico? I don't see the. Oh, we got a super, by the way. Appreciate that very much.
Easy Money Sicilian, thank you very much.
Thanks, Easy Money. We'll let's just wrap this thought up really quick, and then we'll get to that question. Nico, who are your other options? It might be slim pickings if Tyler Johnson is one of the guys you're thinking about plugging in. He might be fine as in full PPR wide receiver 3, but even with a consolidated target share, I'm not sure how much I can get behind Tyler Johnson. He could come through. No Godwin, no Evans, but AB is back. Gronk is still there. Scotty Miller is probably going to see more involvement. Cameron Braid will mix in. Like, there's still enough here where I'm not like fire up Tyler Johnson, wide receiver 3 upside. I'm just hasn't quite put it all together. He hasn't quite put enough together yet this year for me to feel great.
Yeah, and I think this is a game where we could see 12 targets each for AB and Gronk apiece, and 12 apiece. So I mean, he should get a decent amount. He should get a wide receiver 3's workload, and he should be able to put up a high end wide receiver 3 week. Might be more of a low end wide receiver 3 week, but he should fall into that wide receiver 3 range.
He's got Mooney. I understand not wanting to play Mooney with Nick Foles, but I think if my choices were between Mooney and Tyler Johnson, I think I'd play Mooney. It doesn't feel good, but that's enough of a there's a tier break there. And at least game script should be in his favor. I think I would play Mooney. Let's get to this.
That's rough about Yahoo, bro.
Who's Williams? Who am I not thinking of for not updating Williams?
I don't know, but just if Yahoo's not updating stuff and it resulted in you having somebody on your bench that you would have rather played because of something Yahoo did,
The thing is, the thing is though, that's not like injury designations. Yahoo has no control over that. I learned about this. They can't do anything as far as like ruling guys out until the team does it. Like Yahoo can't make any injury designations or updates until it actually comes from the team.
So you might get an update on Roto World or whatever your app is that Adam Schefter reports that this guy is probably not going to play, so then you want to take him out of your lineup, but Yahoo hasn't gotten the go-ahead from the team to be able to do that yet, is what you're saying.
Right. Like they can't rule a guy out before the team rules a guy out. So just
all right, let's get to these supers though, because we just got another one from Crumply Heads.
Yeah,
What's going on,
appreciate it, guys.
What's poppin', man? All right, Easy Money Sicilian, Ronald Jones, Swift or Saquon, full PPR.
Swift.
Is Swift if he's playing, and then Swerve to Saquon if he's not.
Yeah, Saquon is a guy I would actually consider over Ronald Jones. I mean, with full PPR, Saquon's got the floor is there. The floor is there for a Saquon game in full PPR. But Swift is the first guy up. If Swift is ruled out, I would pivot to Saquon. I don't know if you heard our rant about Ronald Jones, just not buying in. I know a lot of people are. I'm not. And John said he's not either. So Swift, if he's in, if he's out, I would pivot to Saquon. At the very least, Saquon should see volume despite the horrible situation he's in.
Yeah, I'd be going Swift and then Saquon for sure. But thank you very much, Easy Money.
Appreciate
Let us
the
know
super.
if you have any more questions. Khalid, what's poppin', man? Hope you had a good
formerly
holidays.
known as
CEH, Pollard, Gibson, choose 2.
Clyde, I think definitely has to be in. No Kelsey. He should see, I would think a couple extra dump off passes.
And then a hurt. You got to play a hurt Gibson, I think, if he's not playing, and then you swerve for Pollard. But
they play in the same game tonight, so you can make that call. But I think, Gibson might feel like pulling teeth a little bit tonight. There are multiple concerns about him. 5 days rest, picked up a toe injury, just brutal matchup. But
no J.D. McKissick.
Yeah, that's right. That's guaranteed. So Gibson's volume should be safe as far as the number of touches he sees, as long as he can handle it, as long as he can play through the toe injury. Keep an eye and keep eyes and ears on reports going into this game, if there are any, or if there are any vibes going into this game. Obviously, there's usually sideline reports prior to the game. So, something might be, Antonio Gibson's, he's out here, he's on the bike, he's talking to trainers, blah, blah, blah. Just keep an eye on pregame reports. If there's anything that comes up that sounds like, I don't love that report, then you can obviously pivot to Pollard, who's also
not a bad play himself.
Right. And is also dealing with a foot injury anyway. So,
right.
But if there's none of that, then I would keep Gibson in. But Clyde, for sure, Gibson is the favorite. If we get any weird pregame reports about Gibson's health coming in, then you can swerve to Pollard, but I would keep Gibson in for now.
There you go. And thank you very much for the super. Hope that helps, man.
Absolutely.
As always, let us know if you have any more questions, Stu.
Yep. Wi-Fi connects. I think that's where we're at.
No, Marco Coles, I believe.
We got that, Terry.
Oh, no, I missed Wi-Fi connects. Sorry about that.
Yeah, we got Terry, and then Nico. We got Nico's question about Tyler Johnson. We probably would play Mooney over Tyler Johnson. But Wi-Fi connects. Renfro, Waddle, Gage, pick 2.
First 2.
Probably the first 2. Renfro dudded last week, but he's been a wide receiver 1 prior to that. Got to think he bounces back a little bit with no Darren Waller. And Waddle has also been a wide receiver 1 prior to going on the COVID list last week. And I like the Dolphins' offense's chances on Monday night in the event that the Dolphins' defense can create some short fields because they're playing a 4th-round rookie in Ian Book. Gage should be good today. He's got a great matchup. If you want to play the matchup, if you want to play best matchup, then Gage is your guy. And he's been a safe wide receiver too over the past month. Renfro and Waddle have had wide receiver 1 weeks though over the past month.
Yeah, and they're safe wide receivers 2s with wide receiver 1 upside. Gage is just a safe wide receiver 2.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd be going
still
with
a good
those first
play,
2.
but I would play the first 2. Yeah. Speaking of Russell Gage, Tim Shields, what's going on?
What's going on, Tim?
I think
Did he have a question yesterday?
Tim's playing Gage. Tim's playing Gage. No, I just know Tim. I know Tim is pro Gage, and we were wrong about that.
Oh, right. Yep. You played him even though we advised against it, and it worked in your favor. Yeah,
that was the smart play.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Marco Coles, pick one: Damian Harris or Justin Jackson. Oof, Jackson, right?
Yeah, we got this one. A question with these two players involved in it. It wasn't just these two players, but earlier, and we went Justin Jackson.
Matchup is much better. He doesn't have an injury designation coming into the game. Jackson, based on that.
Conventional wisdom would lead you to believe that since Ramondre Stevenson is out, Damian Harris would get the majority of the work, but we've seen the New England Patriots still roll out Brandon Bolden a fair amount. They got J.J. Taylor, and I think he's somebody who could see some action in this game. Mm-hmm. So that workload that you might be projecting for Damian Harris might not that full-time workload that you're projecting for Damian Harris might not be there, where it will be for Justin Jackson. So Justin Jackson, much better opponent as well.
Yep. Daggers, no problem.
Yes, sir.
And Nico's got a Bengals or Bills question. This is fair because the Bengals opponent, the Ravens, are coming into this game absolutely decimated. The defense is banged up. They don't have their quarterback. They're down to Josh Johnson. I understand wanting to play the Bengals. I get it. But I think I got to give a slight edge to the Bills here from a talent perspective. I know the Bills are on the road, but this is a revenge game for them. I think both teams are going to be fired up to play. Obviously, the Patriots are going to be fired up to play the Bills as well. But the emotional element, like the emotional intangible for this game, goes to the Bills. They're going to be, especially their defense, they're going to be fired up to play this game after having already lost a couple weeks ago. The Patriots' offense is solid, but not one that strikes fear.
And you saw Mac Jones make a few interception mistakes or make a few bad throws in that Colts game. So you don't know if that continues into this game in a matchup that is much anticipated by both sides.
Yeah, I mean, the Patriots are at home, so obviously that's a bit of downside, but the Bills are just the better unit than the Bengals, even without Tre'Davious White. Their run defense is still really strong. They won't have star.
He hasn't made much of a difference. The backup, Star Lotulelei. He hasn't made much of a difference.
Yeah. His name was like, I was like, wow, for a second.
He's a name at this point. He hasn't made much of a difference.
Okay.
So him not being in, I mean, the backup that comes in might be better than him.
Yeah.
So that doesn't play into it for me. I'd be going Bills, and that's not because
I would play the Bills. It's just like I think they are the safer unit. Bengals are more opportune. Their opportunities might be higher today, but the Bills I think they're the better defense. I think they're the safer option.
Both divisional matchups, so one doesn't get
both division matchups.
So, right.
Bengals are at home, so that's like an advantage for the Bengals. The Bengals are the moonshot play, Nico. If you're like, I'm projected to lose by 30 and I need some Hail Marys, then okay, I could see it. But if this is like a close matchup or you're not expected to get, you're not looking at your situation and feeling like I might get crushed, Bills.
Mr. Heinen was popping.
Mr. Heinen.
PPR, any scenario in which you play Penny or Devonta Smith over the Lions starting running back today?
No.
I
would play Swift if he's in. If he's out and you have Jamal Williams, I would play Jamal Williams. I don't trust Rashad Penny.
I like Devonta Smith, but
I like Devonta Smith, but he's cooled off in recently the past couple weeks, and he's going to see.
PPR, he's not like a peep. He's not a. He doesn't get a ton of targets thrown his way.
He can make a big play, but the Eagles are also running the ball they're running the ball as much as they possibly can recently. So that's like Devontae Smith's production is taking a hit as a result of the Eagles' offensive approach in recent weeks. And he's going to see Bradbury for the Giants. So, I would play the Lions running back who starts today.
Yep. And Gregory Dent, what's going on?
What's up, Gregory?
Need advice? Thanks. Hey, appreciate it.
Advice.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Justin Jackson or Russell Gage?
What's your format?
That would help, but I think I would go to Jackson regardless. If it's full PPR, then Russell Gage is a little bit more enticing. If it's full, let me see if he happened to put anything in here about scoring. No, I don't see scoring, Gregory. If you could, if it's full PPR, I could see Russell Gage. He's been a safe wide receiver 2 for the past month. If it's not, Jackson should see an RB1 workload.
In a good offense.
In a great matchup. Both have great matchups.
Yep.
Jackson has, if we're splitting hairs, Jackson has the better great matchup. So in all likelihood, Jackson. If it's full PPR and maybe you get some receiving bonuses or whatever, then maybe Gage, but I would go Jackson.
Yep. And Tim, yeah, hey, I hope that's enough for you to pull out a comfortable win today.
Taylor, Taylor maybe hurt some people last night. Didn't have a blow up game.
Yeah.
Let's see what happened.
Yeah, I know there was somebody in the chat yesterday that said the only person they have left is JT because their whole team. Who was that? Do you remember?
Yeah, I don't remember.
They had Mike Evans and Kelsey and yeah.
Was it Big Con?
Might have been.
Can't remember, but yeah, well, unfortunately that didn't work out.
Yep.
Anyway, Laura and Jim Cooperman. What's going on, Coopermans?
What's going on, y'all?
Need 2 wide receivers in full PPR. Parker, Reynolds, Sutton, Treadwell. The first 2? Actually, no. I would go Parker and Treadwell.
Yeah,
Treadwell's playing the Jets.
That's what I was thinking too. I'm all the way off Sutton.
Reynolds is gonna. Yeah, I'm all the way out on Sutton. Well, here's the thing with Sutton. He might get a boost because Drew Lock is playing.
Drew Lock has seen spot work.
Yeah, I know. Sutton has been better.
It hasn't resulted in any boom weeks from Sutton.
Yeah. Sutton does better with Drew Lock historically. That being said, it's hard to trust.
Drew Lock's more willing to throw up those YOLO balls. So
right.
Yep. I would still go Treadwell and Parker.
Cool. Against the Jets, it makes sense. And Parker comes, this Dolphins offense is pretty solid. Well, obviously Waddle and Gesicki make it so that Parker can't be keyed on or double teamed. Again, I think the Dolphins offense might have some short fields Monday night to play with. In the event Ian Book is out there making mistakes for the Saints. Parker and Treadwell. Yeah. And then for the running back, Abdullah or Penny. Abdullah? I would say Abdullah. I mean, he came through last week, and it's a similar matchup this week. They're playing Tampa. Tampa's great against the run. I don't like Chuba Hubbard today. If
they're hesitant playing Cam and they're playing Sam Darnold in the red zone, then Cam's not going to be running in for those touchdowns on the goal line.
Which maybe helps Chuba. Which maybe helps Chuba.
It might help Abdullah as well a little bit.
In full PPR, I think I go Abdullah. He's the pass catcher. He's the pass catching running back for the Panthers. I think I say Abdullah. What did Penny do last week? And then between
he
Schultz,
got the majority of the work, but he left mid-game for a decent stretch of time, and it led to DJ Dallas having a better output.
11 carries for 39 yards, and he caught 2 passes for 5. Yeah, I can't trust. Penny's at home, but
rather have Abdullah.
Yeah, I think I'll play Abdullah. And then for the flex, Schultz or any of the above. So it would come down to either Schultz or Cortland Sutton. Schultz has been a tight end 1.
I'd be playing Schultz. Schultz has been a tight end 1 to your point. I'd be playing Schultz.
Schultz has been a tight end 1. That's wild. But Sutton, it's it's hard to trust Sutton. It's a good matchup by the numbers. I don't think the Raiders don't strike fear as far as their secondary. Well, actually, they're more. Actually, it's not a favorable matchup by the numbers, and it's a division game. Yeah, I'd play Schultz over Sutton.
Schultz has been averaging more points per game this year than Sutton, despite the difference in position. So
Parker, Treadwell, Abdullah, Schultz.
Yep.
Sad J. Cutler, what's going on? Merry Christmas.
What's going on, man? Sad J. Cutler. Still love that name.
Parker, Waddle playing, maybe having to block more to help against a good defense. Do you lower Gesicki? No, I would play Gesicki over Foster Moreau and Cole Kmet. Gesicki has seen tight end 1 target shares on multiple occasions this year and has delivered on multiple occasions this year. No, I think the Saints defense is in a tough spot tomorrow night. I do, because they're going to have to be propping up a rookie 4th round quarterback who, if the history of this situation tells us anything, Book is possibly going to be making mistakes, potentially causing short fields for the defense. I think the Saints defense is in a tough spot tomorrow. Therefore, I'm not worried about firing up any Dolphins I have.
Yeah, the Dolphins are going to throw the book at them,
The defense will, at least. Oh, shut up. Stupid. No, sad Jay. I would play Gesicki and that's that. I would feel okay about that.
Yeah, sorry for the pun. All puns aside, I'd be playing Gesicki. I wouldn't lower him. I'd be playing him over those guys.
Nerd. Kane Liano, what's going on?
What's going on, man?
2 quarterback league, and the QBs are Jake Frommie and Booker Just Johnson. Oh crap. I hope you only need one of these guys. Worried about Ian Book. The Dolphins have been playing well on defense. It is at home. It's a home game for Ian Book, but it's his first NFL game action. That's not a preseason game. I can't play Ian Book.
I'd be playing Jake Fromm.
I guess.
I don't feel good about any of these guys. Just
wow, right. We're talking the last
from one
options.
of them. I would be going Jake Fromm here. I would.
Yeah, I mean, there are some exploitable parts of the Eagles' defense, like their linebackers. I guess Fromm. I mean, Johnson at least can maybe run a little bit. But Baltimore is coming in. Like, you're talking about teams that are coming in and their situations are not good. Like, I might give a slight edge to Johnson just because he might run a little bit, but it's not great. It's either Fromm or Johnson.
We saw Tyler Huntley come in and put up numbers, and all 3 of those guys are kind of the same archetype of player.
I think I would play
rushing quarterback.
I think I would play Johnson. His collection of pass catchers is better than the other 2.
That is true.
He still has Mark Andrews. He's got Mark Andrews. He's got Marquise Brown. He's got Rashad Bateman, and he can run. I think I would go Johnson.
Yeah.
I think I would go Johnson. But we're not expecting much. But I hope that helps. Gregory, we got that. We went Justin Jackson, unless it's a full PPR, then maybe Gage.
Adam, it's popping.
What's going on,
Gage,
Adam?
Lockett, Waddle, Brown, pick 2. Lockett and
Waddle.
Yeah.
Lockett and Waddle. Lockett's put up wide receiver 1 weeks the past month prior to going on the COVID list last week.
Wide receiver 14 in the past 6 games.
And same with Waddle. Like, you could say the same exact thing about Jalen Waddle. Prior to going on the COVID list, had been putting up wide receiver 1 weeks. Gage has been putting up wide receiver 2 weeks. These guys are Lockett and Waddle are putting up wide receiver 1 weeks. Marquise Brown has
games,
faded.
Gage and Waddle are right next to each other. Gage is the wide receiver 16, and Waddle's the wide receiver 17. Gage has played 2 more games in that span.
Gage has. Yeah.
So I would go Waddle, because Waddle. It only took Waddle 5 games to get to that wide receiver.
Right.
17 versus Gage taking 7 games to wide receiver 16. So
yeah,
Waddle
missed a game to the COVID list, and the Dolphins had a late bye week, so that makes sense.
Yep.
Lockett and Waddle.
Yep. ATG was popping, man.
What's up, ATG?
Pick 3, Mixon, Rojo, Javonte, Jackson.
Not Rojo.
Not Rojo. Yeah, not Rojo.
Not Rojo.
That's
Mixon
the,
has to be in. Javonte has to be in, and I much prefer Justin Jackson's matchup and
the motto of the stream. We should just put that out there.
Yeah.
Not Rojo.
Put it in the ticker. Just no context.
Same thing for easy
not
money.
Rojo.
Not Rojo.
Yeah, we're not on the Ronald Jones train, ATG, or anybody in here. If you're if anyone just so happens to be looking for Ronald Jones hype, I'm sorry to say you will not find it here.
Yeah, you got to go elsewhere for that.
Yep.
Easy money, Saquon.
Yeah, we got that.
And Jameson. Jameson.
Appreciate the super once again.
Pick 2, Mixon, Javonte, Jones, Carter. The first 2.
Yep, Mixon and Javonte Williams. Yep. Go with the talent. Go with the RB. Go with the clear RB1 and Williams. It has RB1 upside. Give me Mixon. Give me Javonte.
And Brady Zabludale. I hope I don't but not butchering your last name. Sorry about that. PPR Renfro, DK, or AB. Also Sanders, CEH, or Justin Jackson.
If you can only start
AB.
one, AB.
AB.
No Godwin, no Mike Evans, but still gets to catch passes from Tom Brady. Like AB's got as much upside as anybody on the slate today.
And then of those running backs, I'd go CEH with no Kelsey.
Yeah, I would go Clyde. It's a phenomenal matchup. Of all teams, the Pittsburgh Steelers are a run funnel of a defense in the past 4 weeks. They're giving up tons of production to running backs. And yeah, no Kelsey. So you got to think Clyde maybe sees an extra pass or two go his way. Clyde.
Yep.
AB and Clyde. I like Sanders and I like Justin Jackson, but Clyde, come on. At home, great matchup. Chiefs down one of their top weapons. Gotta happen.
Yeah, their top weapon. I'm sorry, I'm putting Kelsey slightly above. Hell, I think he's the top weapon.
They're both elite. They're
Yes.
both excellent.
Yes.
But
I think it's their top weapon. They're out. So yeah, CEH.
Clyde. Yeah, AB and Clyde.
Yep. Mark Yasko, is Hunter Henry
Mark?
a good sub for Kelsey?
Yeah.
Also Justin Jackson or Sony Michel?
Yeah, Henry's fine. He's been on a bit of a touchdown streak recently.
9 touchdowns this year. Yep.
Yeah, it's not a great matchup by the numbers, but they're at home. And Henry's been a big part of the offense. Yeah, he's fine. He's fine to pivot to.
He's basically their wide receiver too. It's Kendrick Bourne and then it's Hunter Henry.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah, he's been getting red zone looks. Yeah, that's a fine sub. As far as Justin Jackson or Sony, I think I go Jackson here.
Do you?
Yeah, I like Sony, but I want to see everybody's ready to.
Yeah.
Everyone's ready to crown Sony, and for good reason. He has looked very good for the past few weeks. But Darrell Henderson, it was last week was his first game back off the COVID list. So let's see if he truly has been phased out of this offense. 2 weeks removed from the COVID list, and it's a short week for the Rams. Remember, they played on Tuesday. Now they're playing on the road. Does Sony see 20 touches again? This is the week where we truly find out. So in the meantime, give me Justin Jackson in a phenomenal matchup where I know he's going to should get most of the volume. And
he should get a fair amount of PPR work as well. So
I would think.
Depending
Sony
on the
can
format
too.
You're playing in.
Sony can too, but give me Jackson.
Justin Jackson.
It's slight edge. It's a slight edge, but give me Jackson.
And I would feel very confident playing Hunter Henry as a sub for Kelsey. So yep,
sure.
Go that way.
Sure.
And yeah, Sad Jay, we like Nick said, we're not the guys to go to for positive Rojo takes this year. We're just not.
Right.
Have PPR. You can start Sony, maybe St. Brown, though he feels gross with Boyle.
I would,
especially with the Swift looking like he's going to be playing. I'd be going.
So the question is, would you play? Are you playing Sony or Rojo?
Sony.
I think I would play Sony. Maybe I'm just a total, complete Ronald Jones hater.
As good as Nick feels about Javonte Williams, Nick feels just as bad about Rojo.
Apparently.
Rojo is the anti-Javonte Williams for us.
Apparently. The only concern I have with Sony Michel is, does he get his full complement of touches coming off a short week? That would be my on the road. But the matchup is great by the numbers. The Vikings defense is decimated at this point. The Rams are a really good offense.
Yep.
The Bucs are too, but the Bucs are down a ton of weapons. Sony feels a little dicey to me this week, but I still think he's got RB2 upside. Rojo could be an RB2 as well, but Sony feels a little safer.
I feel like everything needs to go right for Rojo to get there, and I don't feel like everything needs to go right for Sony to get there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's where the distinction is to me. I really think for Rojo to have that RB2 week, everything needs to go right for him. And that's not the case for Sony. He just needs to see the edge and touches over the other running back who's now healthy in that offense. So, yep.
And Nico said, just going back to his question about Mooney or Tyler Johnson, worried about the weather. I see now, is it snowing in Seattle? Here's the thing. If it's snowing, like, that is a little bit of a concern, but there's not much wind. It's only 10-mile-per-hour winds. So, like, throwing the ball might be a little trickier in the snow, but the fact that there's no wind, like 10-mile-per-hour winds, that's not bad. That's not too bad.
No.
Let me see if I can get a little, let me see if I can get an hourly, like hour by hour. Can you go to the next question while I look this up?
Yes, sir. Crumply Heads, should you pick up Jarrett Patterson? He's not a bad pickup. He should still see work with the banged up Gibson, who might not play. We're still waiting to hear on definitive news there. But yeah, Jarrett Patterson is a great speculative ad. He should see the J.D. McKissic, some of the J.D. McKissic work, even if Gibson plays. And with J.D. McKissic on IR, if anything were to happen to Gibson, if he does play and he has to get shut down, then you're looking at Jarrett Patterson, RB1 for the Washington football team.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'd feel confident picking up Jarrett Patterson and stashing him. That's a good move. It's a good move.
Yeah.
Same goes to anybody out there.
As far as, and Nico, if you're still in here, as far as the Seattle weather today, it's bad right now, like literally right this very second. Apparently there's a lot of snow in the forecast, but it's coming down as we get closer to kickoff. The precipitation is supposed to slow. The winds might pick up a little bit. They're saying as far as like 10 to 12 miles per hour during the game, but the snow is expected to start to come down a little bit. I think these variables are enough for me to still feel fine about playing Mooney over someone like Tyler Johnson. That's just me personally. If you're still worried about the weather, then I hear you, but it sounds like it should let up a little bit as we get closer to the game and into the game. So just for what that's worth.
Solid.
Brandon Hooker, what's going on, Brandon? Damian Harris or Sony in half PPR? Harris,
this is kind of tough, but yeah, I think I would go.
I would say Harris at home. They're saying he should be good to go. Or that came from me in Rappaport, right?
Yeah.
That Harris should be good to go despite the injury designation, despite the hamstring injury. Ramondre Stevenson is out, so Harris is going to see all the work he can handle. It's not a good matchup, but they're at home. Harris did well against this Bills defense a couple weeks ago and should see all the work.
I guess, yeah. I guess I'd be going Harris.
Like, if you want to play the matchup,
very close
it's Stoney, but Darrell Henderson lurks. Darrell Henderson lurks. I'm not convinced
Brandon Bolden lurks too, but not to the same extent.
Not to the same level.
Right.
Not to the same level. I would say Harris.
Yep.
I would say Harris. And what
Michael
would
Reyes, pick
all
2 in full PPR. Patterson, Justin Jackson, Ronald Jones.
Is that Cordero?
If that's Jarrett Patterson, then it's the last 2. If that's Cordarrelle Patterson, it's the first 2.
First 2. Yeah. Justin Jackson for sure. Cordero Patterson for sure. If that's Jarrett Patterson, then Ronald Jones.
Yep. And Satanta, what's going on?
Hello from Ireland. That's
hey.
awesome.
Yes. That's dope.
That's awesome. So we got Josh. Is this Josh Johnson?
And Matty Ice, Lions backup QB. That confuses me. Is it Matty Ice? Or is it the Lions backup QB?
Or is it Tim Boyle?
If that's Matt Ryan, then go Matt Ryan. If that's Tim Boyle, then go Josh Johnson.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But thanks for tuning in from Ireland, bro. That's dope.
Yeah. Thanks for tuning in. Frederick Warren.
What's going on, Fred?
Mac, Heineke, or Lawrence? Mac?
I don't feel good about it.
I don't feel good about it, but I don't want to play Heineke.
I don't want to play a quarterback against the Bills defense.
Yeah. I don't want to play. Trevor Lawrence continues to struggle. Heineke just had a terrible game against Dallas 2 weeks ago.
It's a tough decision. I guess I would go Mac by default.
I think I would go Mac at home.
But I don't feel great about playing him against the Bills. But I mean, it's.
I don't feel great about it either. But Heineke doesn't feel good. Lawrence has far and away the best matchup, but has been far and away the least trustworthy.
Yeah, I'd go Mac.
I think I suck it up and play Mac Jones at home. At least he's at home. I would play Mac.
Yep. And Marco, I'd go Joshua Palmer.
If you need upside, Palmer can make a play.
I think if you need
Barrios
floor,
might get volume, but
I think
Palmer's
floor and upside edge Palmer because they should see a similar workload.
Yeah.
But the quality of targets that Palmer's going to be getting much higher.
Better.
Palmer.
Yeah.
And
intrinsic. No Mike Williams, no Eckler, no Jalen Guyton. Palmer's going to be called upon today.
He says start 2, half PPR, Thielen, St. Brown, Gage. If Thielen's playing, then it's Thielen and Gage. If Thielen's not playing, then it's the other two.
Yeah, Thielen has to be in if he's active, but he plays at 1 o'clock, so you'll know that you can pivot to St. Brown if you have to. I would say of these three, Gage should definitely be in. Gage should definitely be in. Thielen should be in. You can pivot to St. Brown if Thielen is ruled out.
Yep. And Tim, how do you feel about Patterson and Gage against Buffalo Week 17? I mean, they're a great defense, but they're without Trey White. So
you have to play Patterson at this point.
Right. I mean, I'd play both of them against Buffalo. I wouldn't feel bad about playing them both against Buffalo.
You have to play Patterson for sure. I mean, yeah. Gage without Tre'Davious White obviously gets a boost. We'll have to check the weather in Buffalo as well next week. If we're talking, if there's bad winter weather in Buffalo next week,
40-mile-an-hour winds again, then
we have to pivot off Gage. But Patterson might still be viable. But we'll see. We got to keep an eye on weather reports that will have. I'm
only sitting Patterson if he is on the COVID list or gets an injury. Literally, if
right,
he's active.
I'm sitting Patterson if he's not playing.
Right. That's
but if he's in the game, he's in my lineup.
He's about as must-start a player as there is in the NFL right now.
Yep.
And Archum, thanks for joining us 2 days in a row. What's popping? In PPR, would you start Dalton Schultz or Ricky Seals-Jones? I would start Dalton Schultz.
He's been a tight end 1 this year.
TE7 on the year.
He's been a tight end 1. So,
yep.
Schultz. I don't know how to pronounce this name. Zana. I'm not 100% sure. Apologies, but pick 2 between Madison, Mixon, Justin Jackson. The first 2.
Yep.
Madison's a proven RB1 when Dalvin Cook doesn't play. Joe Mixon is a proven RB1.
Regardless. Yeah.
Madison and Mixon.
Yep. Tim J, Najee, Justin Jackson, or T. Higgins PPR.
I lost my spot.
Najee.
Najee.
No Freiermuth.
Najee, Jackson, Higgins, PPR. Yeah, I think you got to play Najee, even though the Chiefs defense has been playing much better recently. So I think we have to lower expectations a little bit on Najee, but he should still see a floor as far as work.
Yeah.
And PPR work, he should be getting some dump off passes. You got to think.
Yeah, even over the last 6 games, Najee's the RB8. So
there you go.
Yep, Najee.
And then as far as Higgins or Justin Jackson, I mean, both are intriguing options.
Excuse me.
I think I play Higgins. This Bengals offense is good. They play well at home. They're at home. The Ravens are coming in decimated. Injuries, the defense, I think I would play Higgins at home. In full PPR, if it was standard, I would say Jackson, but because it's full PPR, I think I want to play Najee and Higgins.
The thing about Higgins is they're not going to have to run up points against this Ravens team. They're not. I don't anticipate Josh Johnson running up points to where the Bengals really have to air it out a ton.
Maybe not. So
I think edge to me, if you have to pick 2 out of the 3, I'd be going Justin Jackson over Higgins, even in PPR. But Najee is the clear one here for me out of all those 3. So hope that helps. And sorry we don't agree on the other 2 options. We're split.
Yeah, we're split.
Josh Rowe is popping. Need 2 flex PPR. Elliott, Lamb, Ronald Jones, Waddle. Lamb for sure.
Yeah, I think you got to play your Cowboys.
Lamb and Elliott.
In full PPR, Waddle is very enticing. But it's the semifinals, or maybe it's the finals, depending on your league. It could be the quarterfinals if you play all until week 18. Don't do that, by the way. But it's a winner go home, and Elliott was probably your first round pick.
And I know he hasn't had the ceiling that we all expect from him, but he's still the RB6 over the past, or the RB12 over the past 6 weeks too. So he is a low end RB1,
at home,
but still an
prime
RB1.
Time. Like Zeke should fall into the end zone tonight.
Yeah, low end RB1, but still an RB1. So go with those Cowboys.
I think so.
And Savvy, what's happening, man? KC Bengals or Miami defense?
I like the Dolphins. I do. I think they're a really strong option this week. They're on the road in the Dome, so that's not the most ideal. But they're playing a 4th-round rookie quarterback who is getting his first career game action. I think the Miami defense is the most opportunistic of these. Kansas City would be my second choice, playing at home against Ben Roethlisberger. The Chiefs are playing well right now. They are clearly a part of the best team of these 3. The Chiefs are obviously the best team. So if you prefer that narrative, I can understand wanting to stick with the Chiefs. And they are definitely a play it safe type of team. Miami. If you need Miami, if you want the big upside play, but also a safe floor. I think there are opportunities. I think they're going to be opportunistic Monday night. Good chance for sacks and turnovers against a rookie quarterback. And they're playing well right now.
Yeah, I'd be going Miami.
3 good options.
And we've been high on the Miami defense for a while. I feel like we've been saying that every live stream. The Miami defense is a good stream for the playoffs, and it just keeps on getting better. I mean, look at this matchup they have in front of them.
Good one.
We were all expecting this to be one of their tougher matchups at the end of the season, but I mean, it should be one of their easier ones. So that just works in their favor even more. So Miami defense, no question. Yeah.
I like Kansas City, but I think Miami is the play.
And Satanta, sorry about that confusion there. We would go Matty Ice. Play
Matt Ryan. I mean, there's no stakes Like, the Falcons season is done. Obviously, I don't always love I don't love playing players on teams who are not playing for anything. But on the flip side, maybe they play loose. Like, the Falcons have nothing to lose. They got, it's a great matchup. It's a team that they are better than, for whatever that's worth. Matt Ryan, I feel like should have spot start upside today.
Yep.
It's a good matchup.
Cole Claps. What's happening?
AB. Ronald Jones or AB.
I know it's not PPR,
even if it's
AB.
Standard, give me AB. I think the production is a little safer. The target share is there. The volume should be there. He should operate as the clear number one option today.
He should get over 100 receiving yards and a touchdown. Yeah. That would be my projection for AB, is to have one of those type of weeks.
First game back, in 2 months. So obviously he could be a little rusty, but you're talking about one of the best to ever do it. You're talking about one of the best to ever do it. With Tom Brady. AB.
AB.
AB. John, happy to hear we helped out last week. That's awesome.
Yes, sir.
This
Reynolds
is what we do. This is what we do it for.
Justin Jackson, Duke Johnson, pick 2. Justin Jackson for sure.
Jackson for sure. I think Duke Johnson might be a trap. Gaskin was coming back from the COVID list last week.
And that wasn't just a precautionary throw him on the COVID list thing. By all accounts, he actually had it.
He had symptoms. Yeah. I think I would play. Who else is out there, John? Because Reynolds is playable, but Swift and Jamal Williams.
Would you rather play a guy like DJ Dallas over Reynolds? Would you rather play a guy like Duke Johnson?
Yes. Yeah, I maybe I'm wrong about Duke, and I've been a fan of Duke in the past, but this going against the Saints, give them they're saying the defense is strong against the run. Duke feels like a trap. Yeah, is DJ Dallas out there? Who's on the wire? Give us 3 or 4 names, John, of some backs on the wire.
Yep.
Let's see if we can figure out a pivot. But Justin Jackson, no question, has to be in.
And I like Craig Reynolds. It's just Jamal Williams is out there again.
Yeah,
if Jamal Williams
Williams
wasn't out there, I'd probably be going, play Craig Reynolds pretty confidently. But I don't know what his workload's going to look like with 1 or 2 of these backs back in for the team.
Mm-hmm.
So let us know. And glad we could help out last week. That's what we want to hear. Archam in Superflex PPR, would you rather start Heineke or Josh Johnson?
I think Johnson.
Would you? You wouldn't go Heineke?
There's rushing upside with Johnson. Heineke has not been playing well recently.
There's rushing upside with Heineke to a certain extent.
Yeah, he just had a bad game against Dallas a couple weeks ago. Now they're on the road.
Bless you.
Excuse me. I think I would play Johnson for the rushing upside. At least he's got good pass catchers.
Yeah.
Again, Johnson's got a decent collection of talent to work with, so that's where I think I would lean. I don't know. Heineke has done it, but he's also
QB 16 on the year. Heineke.
It's a terrible matchup by the numbers, and they just got torched by this defense 2 weeks ago. And Washington doesn't feel like.
But Josh Johnson, he hasn't started in 3 years.
I know.
And he's the 3rd string backup. And I know, yes, he has good weapons, but I'm sorry. I think I'm going Heineke. He's been starting all year. QB 16 on the year.
Yeah, if you want to go that route of Heineke's a little bit more proven this year, then fine, sure. We're talking bottom of the barrel here. I don't care that Heineke's QB 16 on the year. He's a bottom of the barrel option. Especially in this matchup with Antonio Gibson banged up and no JD McKissick to lean on for easy dump off work.
Antonio Gibson's banged up. He's going to need to do more.
Yeah. Can he?
Can Josh Johnson? I
don't know.
I'd rather be going Taylor
not good
Heineke
options.
Because of the two, I think the one that I'd be putting my money on to do more, if he's asked to do more, is Taylor Heineke.
Okay.
So I think we're split there, Archim. I'm sorry.
I'm not totally disagreeing. I think it's two not very good choices. But obviously, if you're in a pinch, I'll just say go with your gut. Heineke has been a little bit more proven this year. I like Johnson's specific situation a little bit more this week. Both are flyers.
I will agree with the situation comment. His situation is a little better. Still going Heineke. So sorry we're split there, Archim.
Go with your gut.
And Forever Loner, what's going on? How you doing,
Hi
man?
there.
Or woman. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yo, you got any questions for us? Let us know. Saiga, what's happening? Happy holidays.
What's going on? Happy holidays to you.
I'm on Ross St. Brown. Josh Palmer, half PPR. Josh Palmer.
I think Palmer, because I'm on Raw, won't have Goff.
And there's the threat that the backs are going to take more of the PPR work away from him too.
Right. If Swift is healthy, or even if Jamal Williams is in,
Palmer.
Like no Hawkinson, obviously. Like there are plenty of targets available. It's just, but how good are those targets with a backup quarterback?
Yeah,
Give me the
but
wide
no
receiver
Hawkinson's
attached.
Equalized by no Eckler and no Mike Williams.
Give me Palmer attached to the much better quarterback in Herbert.
Yep.
Demarium, what's going on?
Saturday.
Starting $3, sure. I mean, you can. Gronk, AB, and Jones. I would play Swift.
If Swift is playing, I would play Swift over Jones for sure.
Yup. If Swift is in, I would play Ronald Jones.
But I have absolutely no problems playing Gronk and AB. Absolutely no problems playing Gronk and AB. That's a solid stack.
If you want to play Jones, over Sony, I understand it. But I would plug Swift in. Are you good over there?
Yeah, no, I just knocked my glasses off because I'm clumsy.
Oh, smart.
They got a peek behind the curtain.
There you go.
Hey.
First time for everything. Yeah, Demarium. I would play Swift, and if Swift is out, then you could pivot back to Jones. But if Swift is in, that's who I want to play.
Yeah. Yep. I have no problem starting Swift if he's playing.
Yeah.
Ups and Brown, what's happening? Merry Christmas to you too.
Going on, Ups and Brown. Yep, Merry Christmas. Yeah, I mean, Ronald Jones is gonna get work. I don't feel good about him. I just don't. Call me a hater, call me contrarian, call me whatever you want. We are not advocating for Ronald Jones, despite the fact that it's now his show. I don't feel good.
Me neither.
Don't feel good. They elevated a guy off the practice squad, Kenyon Barner,
former Eagle.
For whatever that's worth. Obviously, Ronald Jones is probably better than him, but like, I'm not convinced that this isn't like a full blown, like, as bad as Keyshawn Vaughn has looked. Maybe he sees 5 touches. Maybe Barner mixes in on third down.
Yeah, I think Keyshawn Vaughn saw 5 touches last
something
game.
Like that.
So
I'm not. I got to see it from Ronald Jones before I back him.
I got to see it a couple of times from Ronald Jones before I back him, and it's not going to happen this year because we're at the end of the season.
Well, if he does well today, they get the Jets next week, so that's enticing. But we got to get there first. Not feeling him today. Joey Ruffle, what's going on? Half PPR, Deontay or AB? This is my nightmare.
Yo, these are two of the players that Nick is highest on from a wide receiver standpoint.
Flip a coin.
You have to go. You're going.
I think you have to go AB.
Are you, bro? You've told me before. If you ever advocate sitting Deontay Johnson to shoot you, that's your exact words.
It hit me with a shovel. Like the fate of the earth is being determined because the aliens have the laser beam pointed at us and we need to play a football game. Like, one of my starting wide receivers has to beat Deontay Johnson. This is tough, Joey. What's the rest of your lineup? Like, what are your wide receiver options? I do think I have to go. I think I got to give a slight edge to AB with wide receiver 1 upside today. Deontay does every week as well, but it's a much tougher matchup by the numbers.
Yeah, do you not have a flex spot?
Yeah, I want to know the rest of your
number one wide receiver here.
I want to know the rest of your situation, Joey.
Yeah,
because having to make that call is my nightmare. I love both of those guys.
So do I.
Let us know the rest. Let us know the rest of your roster.
Nick was one of the first people that I ever heard be like, "Yo, Deontay Johnson is good. Go and get this guy." To the point where
it was
in a dynasty league, I went out and a dynasty startup league, I went out and overpaid for him, and it ended up working out just because of what Nick said. I had no prior knowledge of him. It was just let me trust.
He looked great as a rookie. He looked great as a rookie, but you couldn't tell because that was when Roethlisberger was out for the year and Mason Rudolph was throwing ducks.
But then on the other hand, Nick was one of the highest people on AB coming into the season.
Well, that didn't work out ultimately.
Well, that was due to off-the-field issues, not on-the-field issues. On the field, AB has been great.
Yeah.
So
that's tough.
I give you credit for both for being high on both of those guys.
But Joey, that's okay. He's got Keenan and Debo, so that makes sense. Flex is either one of them. I think I give a slight edge. I love Deontay Johnson, and I always will, but I think I give the slightest of edges to AB today because of the expected volume. Like, Deontay game script favors Deontay.
No Freiermuth.
Deontay, yeah, no Freiermuth. The game script favors Deontay, right? Even down Travis Kelce, we expect the Chiefs to be winning that game, right? At home, Deontay should see plenty of work. The Chiefs defense is playing better, and Ben Roethlisberger is playing worse than Tom Brady, and those are the deciding factors for me in giving the slightest of edges to AB over Deontay. But at the end of the day, you can't go wrong with either.
I mean, yeah, it's splitting hairs, and
you're gonna put a good player in. It's Joey. You're gonna put a good player in. It's just a matter of the intangibles. Like, which do you prefer? You know, do you prefer AB where like he should see all the work, but maybe not necessarily the game script if the Bucs have that game in hand, or do you prefer Deontay? Much tougher matchup, much worse quarterback, but game script should be in his favor.
I just want to throw this out there.
Go from
by
there.
Points averaged per fantasy football game played. Antonio Brown is the wide receiver 5.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I think AB is the call, Joey. I feel like, I feel like if I were a cat, I lost 1 or 2 of my 9 lives benching Deontay, but I think in this situation, I would go AB.
Yeah, and they're so close.
It's very close.
In
but hopefully
PPR, Antonio
that helps.
Brown, fantasy points average per game 19.1. Deontay Johnson 17.7. So I mean, that was with AB playing with the full amount of weapons for Tampa Bay earlier in the season. AB's got a higher ceiling today. He's got a higher ceiling today. Both great players, but AB today higher ceiling.
There you go.
And
John's got
Alvarez.
another league. Pick 3: Jefferson, AB, Thielen, Waddle, Renfro, Elliott, Zeke is in this conversation.
Jefferson, AB,
and Zeke.
And Zeke.
Jefferson, AB, and Zeke.
Yeah.
Jefferson and AB are locks. And then I would play the running back that I drafted in the first round in a must-win game.
As who's been the RB12 over the last 6 weeks as a floor play for what he brings to the table. So yep. Jefferson, AB, Elliott, John.
Yep.
And we hope you win in both of those leagues.
Yeah, let's get it.
Will, what's happening?
What's up,
Burrow
Will?
and Brady. We went and Burrow yesterday.
Burrow, and I still feel okay about that. I mean, obviously he has his full complement of weapons. Brady does not.
And if you have Jamar Chase and you put him in the flex, that's a great stack.
That's a stack.
So Burrow and Jamar Chase stack.
Burrow and Jamar. You have to over Russell Gage for sure. You got to play Jamar Chase. Yeah.
One's wide receiver 2, one's wide receiver 1. So you got to play the one.
He will put Chase in the wide receiver spot and put Lamb in the flex because Lamb plays tonight. Keep your options diverse. Chase is playing early, so put him in the wide receiver spot. Put Lamb in the flex. I like to play. If I got a player Sunday night or Monday night,
smart.
I want to put them in the flex because if anything happens late, you can keep your diversity afloat as far as like who to pivot to.
That's why we come to you
next
for
best
fantasy,
option is a running back.
Fantasy advice. That was great advice.
That's that little next level. That's that you're playing chess when everybody else is playing checkers.
I don't like that analogy, but yeah. There's nothing wrong with checkers. I don't like that analogy.
You get the. I'm not trying to diss checkers, but you get what I'm trying to say. Chase, put Chase in your wide receiver spot. Will put Burrow in your QB spot. Put Lamb in your flex. Lock it in. Mr. Crowler, what's going on? Start Zeke, Ronald Jones, or is that Javonte Williams? It's got to be Javonte over Zeke.
Yep.
Has to be. Top 10 upside, despite the fact that he's in a timeshare. He's that
Zeke is still a little bit banged up, and Pollard, despite the fact that he's banged up as well, has seen some decent work over the past weeks when he's played, or last week when he played, and the week before. Did he play the week before? He did not.
Who?
Did he? Pollard.
He didn't. He played last week. He missed
last week,
before.
but he double-digit fantasy points from him last week.
Yeah.
So, Javonte.
The stud.
And M. Hart.
Javonte over Justin Jackson.
Harris.
Love Javonte. He's too good.
And I would
Great
say
matchup. Harris over Devontae Smith. Go with the starting running back with no Ramondre Stevenson. Conklin or Moreau? I would go Moreau. Conklin's been quiet recently.
And that's with Adam Thielen not playing for the past.
Right. If Thielen is back, for sure Moreau. Even if he's not.
Moreau.
Or hobbled, I think I would still say Moreau. There's much more opportunity for work in the Raiders offense than there is the Vikings.
And Moreau bounced back last week. The week before, he made some costly mistakes, fumbled the ball, had some incompletions that were on him. But this past week, he put up a decent PPR week from the tight end spot. So I wouldn't feel bad going back to him.
Yep.
Big Kong, what's happening?
What's up, Big Kong?
Justin Jackson, Rojo, or Van Jefferson?
Jackson.
Justin Jackson.
I mean, he should see a full complement of work today. Great matchup, great offense. Down the Chargers are down multiple weapons. Jackson feels like a prime candidate to step up and 20 touches is well within the realm of possibility.
Yep. E-Will, we got to yours. So, Tober, what's happening?
Yeah. What's going on, Sotober? Yeah, Matt Ryan could have a game this week. I mean, there's no pressure on the Falcons as far as I'm concerned. They can play loose. They can play, they can play free. Like their season, like they're not contending for the playoffs at this point. So that's the one concern I have. But it's like the matchup couldn't be any better. They're at home. This feels like
Swift inactivated.
Who?
Swift. Did news just come down? Yep. Swift is not active. Swift is
DeAndre
inactive.
Swift is out.
Harris active. Swift inactive. David Johnson inactive.
So Rex Burkhead could be a sneaky play.
Yep. And John Alvarez, we're gonna get to your question, your follow up on Burkhead in a sec.
Yep. So DeAndre Swift is out. So pivot to your backup options if you have DeAndre Swift. If Ronald Jones is like your best backup option, then just do it. But DeAndre Swift out. So make sure to pivot off of DeAndre Swift, everybody. And if you've got a question about that, let us know.
Yes. And you also told her, completely unrelated to football, but who's your favorite San Jose Shark of all time?
Evander Kane.
No. No, get out of here. I'm gonna shut your camera off.
Don't do that. All right, let's move on. Nick Lentz, what's going on, Nick? Pick 4. Mixon, Madison, Zeke, AB, and Diggs.
Everybody but Zeke.
Yup. Can't believe it. We're there, but we're there. Mixon's an RB1, like a firm RB1 over Zeke this year. Madison is a firm RB1 when Dalvin Cook doesn't play. AB
might be the
Diggs
wide receiver
ones
on the week. Honestly, he might be the wide receiver 1 on the week.
That's a lot of pressure, but maybe.
And Diggs, no Cole Beasley. no Gabe Davis in a game that they have to win against the Patriots.
Tough matchup, but Diggs is not a player you're sitting.
Yeah.
Especially in full PPR. And John, if Burkhead's available, do that over you were between like Craig Reynolds and Duke Johnson.
Hey, does
Burkhead.
Craig Reynolds get a bump? Does Craig Reynolds get a bump with no Swift?
Sure, but Jamal Williams is yes. Sorry, I didn't mean yes. He does, but Jamal Williams is in. So whereas Burkhead is playing in a good matchup by the numbers and David Johnson is out, I prefer Burkhead to Craig Reynolds.
No Brandon Cooks. Yep.
John, I would go Burkhead over Craig Reynolds or Duke Johnson. Drop Duke Johnson to pick up Burkhead. That's what I would do.
I don't feel bad about that. I would do that too.
Jay Hill, what's going on? Jackson Neely, what's going on? Jay Hill, what's going on? Do you sit Mooney with the weather issue? Who are your other options? Let us know. But the snow is supposed to be slowing down in Seattle today as we get closer to kickoff and into the game. The weather is supposed to be less of an issue. It's snowing and it's I think the weather is at its worst right now. It should be, according to the forecast, it should be improving as the day goes on. So that's a good thing for Mooney. Jackson Neely, should you play it safe and bench Gibson? Do you go with Jacobs or Javonte? Yeah, I would bench Gibson for Javonte Williams. That's what I would do. Great matchup. Javonte's a huge, he's a playmaker. He catches the ball. Javonte, he's healthy. Gibson's not. Javonte. Good with that?
I am.
Uzi, what's going on?
Uzi
needs a tight end. Cook, Komet, Fryermuth's out.
Yep.
Gesicki, non-PPR. Herbert's your quarterback, and you're starting Keenan. Screw it. Pick up Jared Cook.
Get that stack.
Go full stack. No Mike Williams. No Austin Eckler.
7 targets
no
for Cook last game.
Jalen Guyton. No Donald Parham, by the way. He's out for the year. Cook, he might get that touchdown.
Yep.
He might, that might be all he does, but that's all you're looking for from one of these guys. Cook, go. I'm a proponent of the full stack, and it's a phenomenal matchup by the numbers. Cook.
Yeah, I'd go Cook. And anybody out there, Fryermuth is out.
Fryermuth's out with a concussion, so make sure to pivot off.
Joby Ruff. You got Keenan. Debo.
Yeah, we got Joey.
That
was the
one.
AB or Deontay. That was the worst question of my day. Haven't figured that out.
RBs are Najee and JT. All right.
Need Najee to step up. JT didn't have a huge game last night, but we'll see what happens. Moyne 1, 2, 3. Start 3. Waddle, Swift is out. Renfro, Singletary. So I hope this might be easy. Just play the 3 healthy guys. Singletary, it's not a great matchup, but he's going to play. Swift
Singletary for the whole year. In week 1, he got the majority of the snaps from the running back spot. And then that stopped for him for a solid 12 games. And over the last 3 games, his snap counts have risen all above 80% in the offense. That didn't mean much up until the last game where they gave him a solid amount of run. But he had, I think he had 82 yards. Maybe he had a touchdown in there. I'm not positive about the touchdown. But he's a solid mid to low end RB2 this week for sure. Breida is inactive. He's a healthy scratch. So it's the Singletary and Moss show, and we can't trust Moss.
I don't feel good. I was just curious. You can't feel good about him.
Singletary's been used a little bit more in the pass game. I expect with Cole Beasley out, they might use him more than they normally would in the pass game, in the short to intermediate pass game there. So, yeah, I think Singletary's a solid play this week. But, yeah, you got to play the healthy guys.
Yep.
Got to play the healthy guys. And as far
Dolphins
as the
defense,
or
Bengals?
Dolphins.
The Dolphins are the most opportunistic chance this week with them play again. Ian Book's a 4th-round rookie seeing his first NFL game action, and the Dolphins are playing well right now. I know they're on the road, but they're as safe a bet as anybody. Dolphins.
And will go roll with Jamar.
Jamar Chase. I don't care. I don't care that he didn't do anything last week. Dude, he's a wide receiver 1.
Yeah.
And Joey, if your gut says Deontay, like, go with your gut. Like I preach that all the time. At the end of the day, go with your gut. Like if you like, do what you want to do. Don't do what, don't ultimately do what somebody else wants you to do and then regret your decision. You know what I'm like? This is your team. This is your decision. You do what you want. And it's as tough a call as you could possibly ask for. I think I would lean AB, and this is coming from, like, kind of John has already alluded to. I've been one of the biggest Deontay proponents since his rookie year. It's close. I would lean AB. If it's 12:59, and you got to make a decision, and your gut says Deontay, then go with Deontay. But we've made our argument for AB.
Yeah.
So
AB over the last 2 games he played in this offense has 3 touchdowns. So just throwing that in there too.
There you go.
Yeah. Jonathan Hamui, what's happening? I would go Foster Moreau, man.
Uzoma or Foster Moreau? Either one is fine. I think Uzoma is fine as well. It's go figure. The two defenses, the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens. I feel like those are 2 mainstay defenses year in and year out where we expect them to be good. They both stink this year. And I think the Ravens are giving up they're giving up top 10 production to the tight end this year. The Broncos, which is Foster Moreau's opponent, are a bottom 5 matchup by the numbers. Just throwing that out there. Moreau has it's clear who has a better opportunity for more work or more volume. There's more targets available in the Raiders offense. That's the argument for Moreau. Uzoma is, I think it's fair to say Burrow's the better quarterback over Derek Carr, right? Is that fair to say?
Not this year.
I don't. All right, I would take a look
Not
at the
by
numbers.
the stats this year.
Okay. Well, Burrow's been fine as far as I'm concerned. And
look, I just don't think the Cincinnati Bengals game is going to be a shootout, and I think
it might not be a shootout.
Workload. So I don't think they're going to be needing Uzoma, who has cooled off after his hot stretch where he was getting 2 touchdowns a game every other game. Foster Moreau, I think you go with Moreau in a game where there's no Waller.
Moreau is the safe play. Uzoma is an upside play. I'll say that because one of Uzoma's good games this year came against the Ravens. One of those 2 touchdown games
where they had
just
Lamar
alluded to.
and needed to run up points.
Yeah,
I'd be going Moreau. Yeah. I'd be going Moreau.
Moreau is a safe play. Uzoma is fine as far as I'm concerned as an upside play.
And Will, you're welcome. Thank you for being in here. Thanks for the
happy
questions.
Holidays. Mr. Crowler, would we play Burrow over Josh Allen? Not ready to go there. Not ready to go there. Allen's a top 5 option, despite being down multiple weapons, despite being on the road in a bad matchup. Allen got you here. I know he hasn't been the Josh Allen of 2020, but
Allen's
still
the
been
QB1.
Good.
I mean, he hasn't had the same heights as he saw last season, but he's still
been
the
good.
overall QB1.
I'm not trying to poo-poo Josh Allen.
No, I'm just saying it's kind of crazy that people are they're continuing to roll with that. It's not the Josh Allen we saw last year. He's the QB.
I'm just saying, like, the confidence is not like you're asking the question, Burrow or Josh Allen. Like, it's not totally unfair to ask a question like that. That being said, my answer is play Josh Allen.
Yeah, I know he doesn't have his whole group of weapons out there, but he's a guy that can get it done regardless. He gets it done on the ground with his legs, so he has more of a floor as well. So yeah, and in a game where he doesn't have his weapons, he might feel like he has to do more, which means we might see one of the boom weeks from Allen.
Yeah, he might have to overcompensate. Yeah, maybe runs. Yeah, they're definitely going to design runs for him. Play Allen.
Yeah. Barrios or Claypool in PPR, Archim, I would be going Claypool with no Freiermuth.
Yeah, play Claypool. It doesn't feel great, but there's a tier break there from a talent perspective. Game script should be in Claypool's favor. Chiefs are playing well on defense, but I think game script will keep him involved. There's a low floor. Like, Barrios' floor is safer, there's no doubt, especially in full PPR. but Claypool can make a big play.
Yep.
Claypool can make a big play. Barrios is safe-ish, Artjum. If you're
Claypool in a game with no Freiermuth is just as safe. He just might not have the boom week, but if you're going to say anybody's going to have the boom week, it'd be going Claypool.
I would give the edge to Deontay being like as safe as possible. Claypool's been very boom bust this year. That's all. But I would still lean Claypool over Barrios. But Barrios is not like the, he can be considered a safe play in full PPR. Like he can absolutely be considered a safe play. Claypool's a little bit more of an upside play, but Claypool's viable if you need him.
M. Hart, hey, glad we could help out. PPR flex,
no
Justin Jackson, Russell Gage, or Amon-Ra St. Brown, Justin Jackson.
Jackson, go with the running back that we expect to see RB1 volume in a great matchup.
Yeah, remember that Austin Eckler is not one of the best rushers in the league. He's one of the best dual threat running backs in the league. They use him more than any other back in the league has been used this year in the pass game. So if they're going to stick with that same game plan, even though they don't have the same talent out there at the running back position, you could see Justin Jackson get a fair amount of PPR work as well. I wouldn't discount that. I don't view not so. Yeah, Justin Jackson even in PPR.
Yeah.
And thanks, Edward Reyes. I didn't see that Swift was inactivated on any alerts that came up. You reported it first, so thank you for the.
There you go. And then Sleeper dropped it in.
Huh?
And then we got it from Sleeper.
Yeah. I saw it on the chat first from Edward Reyes, and then I looked at NBC Sports Edge and saw it there. So thank you, Edward. Appreciate it.
If you're between Mr. Hine, if you're between Jamal Williams and Reynolds, I think it's got to be Williams. I know Williams is coming off the COVID list, right? So obviously there might be a little bit of concern as far as like what's his conditioning like, right? I think it's got to be Williams. I think it has to be Williams.
I think it's got to be Williams too. Reynolds has been a great story the past 2 weeks
and should be involved.
Yes,
should be involved. Reynolds should be involved today. But I think
Williams should be playing the Swift.
Williams. Yeah, Williams
so
is
getting some passes and stuff.
Williams is a viable pass catcher. Yeah, I think I lean Williams over Reynolds.
But to your question, Edward, Reynolds isn't a bad play today. He's just
he's an upside RB3.
Yeah,
he's an upside RB3 at this point.
Yep.
So if your other options are like, if you're looking at your other options and you're like, blech, Reynolds is an upside RB3. For what that's worth.
Moyne 123 PPR, Jamal Williams, Devin Singletary, or Rex Burkhead.
Singletary?
Singletary and Jamal Williams are pretty close to me, but I'd be going edge.
I mean, Burkhead
to the offense that's better.
Burkhead should get a lot of work in a good matchup, but
yeah, but he's seen that. We've seen that narrative from him before. We've seen that narrative from him where David Johnson was out and they went with Burkhead as their RB1.
I think I give a slight edge to Singletary. Despite the bad matchup. It's the best team, right? The Bills are playing for something. The Lions and Texans are not. So give me the player attached to the team, the good offense, despite the bad matchup that is playing for something. Singletary.
Singletary's been getting some chunk runs of late too. So
yeah,
it's good. That's good in his favor as well. And Dirtbag, wish I didn't drop Craig Reynolds now.
I mean, it's an RB3.
Yeah.
If that's how if you're that far down as far as like these are the options you're looking for, obviously. Yeah, I mean, you wish you had the guy, but there's no guarantee that there's no guarantees this week with him with Jamal Williams back. They're down to a backup quarterback. Like this whole offense could just struggle. I mean, we'll see what happens.
Yep.
So Tover likes Jonathan Chichu? Jordan. I was close. He was pretty good though, right? He was good. He was good for a long time.
Yeah, in like the mid to late 2000s.
Like from that 2004 to 2010 or something like that.
Back when the Sabres were good, Jordan Chichu was a solid guy for the Sharks. Yeah.
They had good teams for a long time. I know they never fully capitalized, but they were constantly in like
Jumbo Joe Thornton.
I mean, he was
Hall of Famer.
really good. Is he still playing?
I don't think so.
Hockey.
I know Patrick Marleau
players
left,
play until they're.
Was it
65.
Patrick Marleau was also a Shark, and then he left
Yeah,
and went to
and
like the Toronto Maple Leafs and stuff. Yeah,
he's bounced around. I think he was on Pittsburgh for like a year. Hockey players play until they're 80 years old.
But he had been with the Sharks for a long time.
Yeah,
long time. But word, I wanted to know Sotober because I always see the Sharks logo whenever you pop up in the chat. So yeah, that's dope.
Got hockey on the mind.
And John, glad we could help. You got any more questions? You already know. See, you got another one in there, but you got any more? Let us know. Jay Hill, Terry McLaurin, Marquise Brown.
Oh, those are your other options. Yeah, I mean, I would play both of those guys over Mooney. Well, actually, Hollywood has fallen off really hard, and now he's playing.
I'd play Terry for sure. I wouldn't play Marquise Brown.
Oh, if you can choose, if it's choose one between Mooney, Terry, and Hollywood, then yes, I would play Terry.
Yep.
But then I would play Mooney, and no, since they're both playing with like third string quarterbacks, I would play Marquise, I guess, who has been better this year. But if you only start one of these three guys, then yeah, Terry. Despite the bad matchup, despite the situation, play Terry. The talent wins out there.
Yep.
Dirtbag's also a Sharks fan.
He was dope.
We got some Sharks fans here.
I remember him.
Richie, should you be worried about the high winds in Kansas City? I just checked. I saw this question like down a little bit. So I just checked. The Kansas City weather is supposed to get up as high as like 18 to 20 mile per hour winds, but it's not supposed to stay that way. At kickoff, they kick off at 3:25 local time today. We're talking 16 to 18 mile per hour winds. Yes, that's that's concerning that you don't feel great about that. It's not enough for me to move off of somebody like Mahomes or somebody like Deontay, because Deontay catches short passes. The wind shouldn't be too much of a factor for him. It might impact Mahomes a little bit more, throwing deep balls, throwing bombs to Tyreek, which we'll probably see more than a couple shots taken today with no Kelsey, or a couple more downfield deep shots. But Mahomes at home, those winds are concerning, but not enough to move off of Mahomes for like a stream. Same with Deontay.
Sorry, I was looking at the updates to see if there's any more updates of note.
Okay.
There isn't really.
Yeah, I mean, you're not worrying about Mahomes and Deontay despite 15 plus mile per hour winds. Yeah, I mean, it's a little concerning, but you got to fire him up.
If
Deontay, I'm not too worried about.
30
Richie.
mile an hour winds.
Then it's a little. Then it's like, rough. But 20 mile per hour winds, and it's supposed to not go any worse than that and get better as the game goes on. Stick with your guys.
Yep. Stick
with your guys. Last question from John. With Kelsey out, Kmet, Moreau, or Jared Cook, full PPR. Who's John? Who's your quarterback, John? Was that answered earlier? I'm trying to see if there was.
I think I'd be going Jared Cook.
I mean, the opportunity is there. Like as good as anybody's chance to get a touchdown today with no Mike Williams, no Jalen Guyton,
no Donald Parham,
no Austin
to your point
Eckler,
earlier,
no Parham.
Yeah, I'd be going Jared Cook because I think this week it's a ceiling week for him, and I don't think it's not the case for Moreau. I think it is the case for Moreau too, but I think Jared Cook's ceiling is a little bit higher with the quarterback that he has, the offense that they run, and the players that they're missing.
Sure.
Yeah, but both are good options, and both over Kmet, regardless of which what your preference is.
With Kmet, like he's enticing, and I know he came through last week, but
he's kind of touchdown allergic. He doesn't.
And he doesn't catch them either. They bring Jimmy Graham in when they're in the red zone and on the goal line,
which was
and
the
they
whole
throw to
issue
him
last year with him.
And they throw to him.
Yeah,
it's so frustrating. Like Kmet came through last week in garbage time.
Adam Thielen will play week 16.
if Adam Thielen is playing, he's in.
Outside of I think there was one person in here that we recommended you don't play Thielen, regardless of the fact that even if he was in, because
there might have been some other good. Yeah, it might have been some good options, but
I think it's because you had Justin Jefferson in there. Somebody
Jefferson
had,
and AB.
Yeah. So yeah, if Thielen is in,
Thielen is in, unless you got stud after stud at the wide receiver position, play Adam Thielen at home. All he does is catch touchdowns. Cole Kmet does not. So yeah, Jared Cook. And that's how I tied that all the way back to the last question.
And live creation. Thank you so much for subbing.
That. I don't remember. Did you have a question? I don't remember. But you're welcome all the same.
If you got any questions, let us know for sure. But thank you very much for subbing.
Appreciate that.
Sean McDowell, what's happening?
What's going on, Sean?
Start Higgins, Barkley, or Justin Jackson in the flex.
I assume that's Justin Jackson, and since it's half PPR, Justin Jackson is my suggestion.
Yep.
Should see RB1 work today in a phenomenal matchup against Houston.
And Sam CG, what's happening? Need a kicker.
What's up, Sam?
So I'm throwing this question to you, bro.
Koo or Sanders? Oh God, Koo is so dicey this year because as rock solid as he was last year, he has been so up and down this year. But the matchup could not be better. The Lions give up the most points to kickers in the NFL. The conventional wisdom says Koo at home. The Falcons should not have an issue moving the ball on offense against the Lions. I think it has to be Koo. The contrarian argument for Sanders is that the Dolphins are on the road. The Saints defense is good. Maybe it forces the Dolphins to stall out on offense a little bit more, and therefore they're kicking field goals. I see it for Sanders. I see the argument for Sanders. I think I lean Koo given the intangibles. The Lions give up the most points to kickers on the year. I think in every format, or the scoring is generally the same for kickers regardless. So the Lions are giving up the most points to kickers this year. The Falcons are at home. They don't really have a whole lot to play for, so I think they can play loose. And they're also an offense that should be decent enough to move the ball, but is not like this elite offense that capitalizes on every red zone opportunity that they have and turns it into 6. They could absolutely stall out even against the Lions. And with Tim Boyle, maybe the Falcons defense creates some short field opportunities of their own for the Falcons offense. Koo. Yeah, he's a little he's not as consistent this year as he has been, obviously. Otherwise, this question wouldn't be asked, but he's set up well today. Koo is. He is set up well today.
And Ryan Carmella, how do you feel about Travis Homer? There's got to be a better option out there for you. Unless you're in
what
a
else are we
dynasty
working
league
with?
and there's nobody on the wire and he was on your bench and he's the only guy left. There has to be a better option out there than Travis Homer.
What else are we working with?
Yeah. Don't feel good about him if that's just your question in a vacuum. I don't feel good about Travis Homer getting much.
Is Alex Collins in? He's not on the injury report. So, I mean, we're talking about like 4 guys now between Homer, Collins, Penny, Dallas.
Isn't Peterson still there too?
Yeah, he might be inactive for being old. And inactive. Coach's decision.
There you go.
So it's still 4, but it's still 4 guys, like four dudes. It's just
4
like
meh guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
Travis Homer gets the edge because he's used in special teams, so he might. If you're
sure.
in a league with punt return yards and kick return yards, maybe.
Even then, I'm like.
Yeah, but I'm not playing him if I can. If I can come off of Travis Homer to pretty much any other option, I'm playing the other option. And Matangs, hey, appreciate it. And you're welcome.
You're welcome.
Should I play Josh Allen or Jalen Hurts?
Ooh.
For wide receiver, should I play Darnell Mooney, Emmanuel Sanders, or Josh Palmer? These are both good questions, man.
These are both good questions. I am playing the quarterback who has the most QB1 weeks this year of any quarterback in the league for fantasy purposes, and that's Hurts. I know Allen is a little bit more proven. Allen is a monster in his own right. The matchup weighs into my decision. Obviously, the Patriots are a much more difficult opponent than the Giants. And this year, Hurts has produced more QB1 weeks than anyone. Not just Allen, more than anyone. More than Brady, more than Herbert, more than Kirk Cousins, who is up there. Hurts. He gets rushing production just like Allen. He's been converting rushing scores on the goal line. And it's a much better matchup.
The only thing that gives me pause is, Allen might.
Allen's awesome.
Allen's been
he's a top 5 option
Allen
every
has been
week.
right there with Hurts, and I know he doesn't have some of his weapons, but to the point that I made earlier, he might feel like he has to do more, and more of the game plan might be on Josh Allen producing in the run and the pass game. So this might be
they're right
the
there.
boom
They're both
week
right
for
there.
Allen. This is really a preferential play. This is really
it is a gut
as close to a preferential play from the quarterback position as I've seen pretty much all year.
Yeah, like one is probably like the QB3 option this week. The other is the QB4. Right? Like they're both top 5 options.
Yeah. The only thing that gives me pause with Hurts is, again, playing against Jake Fromm, and with the way that this team has been moving the ball down the field and the way that the Philadelphia Eagles have run their offense, Hurts might not have to do too much. And I feel like Josh Allen is going to have to do the most. So
Josh Allen's probably going to have to do more.
We're split here because I'm Josh. I guess we're going along our party lines. I'm a Bills fan.
Yeah, we're going with the party
fan.
lines.
So we're split here.
You can't go wrong. At the end of the day, you can't go wrong with your choice. We both have our preferences.
I'm going Allen. He's going Hurts. I'm sorry, we can't give you a definitive answer there, man. It's preferential.
It is a preferential because it's 2 good options. It's 2 as good options as you could ask for.
Chat, let's help him out. Who are you playing in the in this Allen or Hurts?
Allen or Hurts semifinals. Win or go home.
For wide receiver, should I play Darnell Mooney, Emmanuel Sanders, or Josh Palmer?
Palmer? Well, here's the thing. I guess you could stack Allen and Sanders if you decided to go with Allen. The question is, do you want to play Sanders, who I know you feel okay about this week? I'm worried. I'm not, just because they're down Beasley and Davis, I'm not feeling great about Sanders. He's got less than 30 yards receiving the past 5 games.
Because he's been phased out of the offense in favor of those other 2 playmakers. We've seen Gabe Davis become a wide receiver 2 over the past few weeks, and Beasley's always involved as at least a wide receiver 3, and they're not there. So, Emmanuel Sanders is walking into a wide receiver 2 workload, despite the fact that he hasn't been producing as much. So there is a stack there. Emmanuel Sanders and Josh Palmer are,
I think in a vacuum, I
close.
Prefer Palmer.
In a vacuum, I'm going Palmer. If you choose to play Allen, I'd be playing Sanders.
Yeah, I'm okay with that because then you get the stack.
If you're playing Hurts, I'd go Palmer. If you're playing Allen, I'd go Sanders.
Yep, I would do the same thing. Hurts and Palmer or Allen and Sanders.
Yeah, so chat, help him out a little bit. And this is where I wish we could make polls. Let me see if I can do that. Create a poll.
Oh, we can create a poll. I can do it.
I'm doing it right now. Sanders.
You're doing it. All right, John's going to create a poll for you, Matangs. While you're doing that, Raul, what's going on? You're overthinking playing Amon-Ra or Michael Carter in your flex in a standard league. Underdog and need upside. If it's standard, I'm playing Carter because Amon-Ra doesn't get those PPR points, and he's playing with a backup quarterback. And Jamal Williams is back. DeAndre Swift is out, so obviously that's a bit of a boost for Amon-Ra, but Jamal Williams is in. And the Falcons give up a lot of production to running backs, so Williams might steal even more work than maybe we expect. And Craig Reynolds is there lurking. I would play Carter. 2 weeks removed from being off of IR. He gets Jacksonville at home. Nothing scary about that matchup at all. And the standard scoring favors the running back by default. Carter. I'm going to keep moving while John makes the poll. Chris, what's going on? Good morning. Cam Newton, Davis Mills, Drew Lock, or Zach Wilson in a 2 QB league. Do you need 2 of these guys or just one? How's that poll coming over there?
A little wonky. So keep going.
You're not figuring it out. Dude, you could do it right there underneath the chat.
No, I know. It's just they give you, it's a yes or no.
Oh, that's
This isn't a yes or no question.
No, you can fill it in. You fill it in. You can just type it in. Just type in how you want to.
Yes. Okay, technology.
Dude, technology is hard.
Shut up.
Technology's hard.
Shut up.
Anyway, Cam Newton, Davis Mills, Drew Lock, or Zach Wilson in a 2 QB league. Chris, my default is Zach Wilson. It sounds like Sam Darnold's going to play for the Panthers, so obviously we can't trust Cam Newton. And then Davis Mills with no Brandon Cooks. I don't want to do that. Cam is expected to start, but Sam Darnold is going to quote-unquote play a lot. Avoid Carolina quarterbacks. That's a whole hot mess right there. I would play Zach Wilson, Chris. If you only have to pick one of these guys, I would play Zach Wilson. If you have to play 2, I mean, game script would favor Davis Mills, I guess. But he's got, like, no weapons. Hopefully you only have to play 1, and I would pick Zach Wilson because at least he's playing Jacksonville at home. Nothing scary about that matchup. There you go. You figured it out.
Hey.
Now it's over the chat. Can I hide this? Yeah. Whatever. All right. Zach Wilson over Cam, over Davis Mills, over Drew Lock at home against Jacksonville. I would do that. Dirtbag is talking Sharks.
Yep,
you love to see
it.
it.
Evgeny Nabokov. I remember him too. Yeah,
I remember him. He was pretty good goalie for a long time.
Yeah.
He's a pretty good goalie for a long time.
Richie, you need one. Josh Palmer, Justin Jackson, or Michael Carter. PPR.
Jackson.
Justin Jackson.
Jackson. Play the running back in the phenomenal matchup, like as good of a matchup as you can ask for, where every running back has smashed against the Houston Texans this year, and Chargers are down multiple weapons. Jackson.
And Hawkins. What's happening?
Hawkins. I'm gonna assume
Rojo, Waddle. Need a boom week with my defense. Jeff Wilson and Aaron Jones combining for 40 points, but the other team is 79.
Waddle. If you need a boom, man.
I'm going Waddle.
I'm so off Ronald Jones.
Waddle.
Give me Waddle. He's been a wide receiver 1 prior to his stay on the COVID list.
And I know that was without Devontae Parker, but Devontae Parker being in there might help him, honestly.
Yeah, sure. Maybe Parker's the one who sees Lattimore, not Waddle.
Yeah,
that poll is
Waddle.
split right down the middle, by the way. Waddle over Rojo. John, you said Kyler. Did we ask to know who the quarterback is for your team? I can't. I'm sorry.
Yep.
What was the situation?
Kelsey out, Komet, Moreau, Jared Cook.
Oh, to figure out the tight end. Right. Jared Cook.
Still going Jared Cook.
Jared Cook.
Yep.
Was just curious to see if we could create a stack. That's right. Thank you. KMB Fishing. What's going on? Metcalf, McLaurin, AB, or Gage? Need 2. AB for sure.
AB for sure.
Gage?
Cannot trust DK Metcalf.
Cannot trust DK Metcalf right now. It's hard to trust Terry McLaurin right now. Gage has been a little more steady. AB for sure has to be in.
I think I'd be going AB and Gage.
Yeah, I think I might do that too. It
feels crazy to be sitting DK Metcalf and Terry McLaurin in the semifinal week, but that's where we are, man.
This is where we're at.
Yeah, it's either AB or McLaurin or AB and Gage, depending on how you feel about McLaurin or Gage. Conventional wisdom would lead you to be edging in McLaurin's direction, especially with. Do we have any definitive news about Antonio Gibson?
No, and we probably won't get any until tonight if we get anything.
Yeah, so
I think Gage is the safe play. KMB. McLaurin is you're down by 30 and you need a Hail Mary. You need a moonshot. Yeah, you need a moonshot, then McLaurin. But I would say AB and Gage, edge to Gage, safe wide receiver 2 play for the past month.
And I think AB gets above 20 points this week.
I don't know about that, but I think AB has to. I think he has to be in your lineup.
Yeah, he does. Regardless of how you feel about him, I'm just very high on him.
There you go.
Georgia Tech, what's happening? Thielen, Marquise Brown, or Amon-Ra St. Brown for wide receiver. Thielen because
he's in. He's playing. Marquise Brown's playing with a third-string quarterback. Amon-Ra's playing with a backup quarterback. Thielen is a proven touchdown scorer playing at home. Thielen.
And Kyle Pitts or Dawson Knox. I'm going with Dawson Knox.
Yeah. This is a great spot for Pitts against the Lions. But Knox is attached to the better quarterback. Bills are down multiple weapons on offense.
Dawson Knox could effectively be their wide receiver too. So Dawson Knox.
Slight edge to Knox. This is a spot for Pitts to smash, but that hasn't happened for like 6 weeks.
Yeah. And Juan Polito, what's happening? Damian Harris or Saquon Barkley PPR?
Harris? This is where it gets difficult. Harris has a tough matchup. Saquon gets the PPR boost, but Harris has obviously been more consistent and more reliable this year.
I have a feeling you're going to be going to Harris, but I think
Harris is a safe play. Saquon is an upside play.
The Giants are going to be they're not going to be trying to put a whole bunch of work on the shoulders of
Jake Fromm's going to dump it off to Saquon a ton. So
yeah, Saquon might not have like a ton of rushing yards and all the TDs, but I feel like his floor in PPR is going to be higher than Damian Harris's. So in full PPR, and choosing between these two running backs, I'm going Saquon.
There you go.
How about you?
I think Saquon is the upside play. I think Harris is a safe play if you feel like you can play it safe.
Fair. Samuel Contreras, replacing Lamar, need a QB to start. Russell Wilson, Tua Tagovailoa, or get wild and start one of the QBs. Oh, no.
I guess Russ.
Tua with all of his weapons?
Yeah, but against the Saints, it's not a great match. Like, the defense is pretty good. The Bears are not.
But we were advocating Tua because he might be playing with a lot of short fields.
Might be playing with short fields because of, like, if Ian Book is out there making mistakes for the Saints.
Russell Wilson did hit his ceiling last week. He got above 20 points from the quarterback position, so
he's playing at home against the Bears. He gets Lockett back.
Yeah.
I think I go Russ.
Do you?
Yeah, I don't love it. But Russ can run. He gets Lockett back. He's the best quarterback. He's just the best quarterback of these options.
Yeah, Russell Wilson.
At home.
Just doesn't feel great.
On the road.
But Russell Wilson.
I would think I would go Russ. But yeah.
What do you think about the rumors about him going to New York?
Could happen. I mean, I think he's playing his last games in Seattle. Like he's playing his final games for the Seahawks, regardless of what happens. And John, let's get these wins. Let's get everybody some wins today. Let's go to the finals.
Yes, sir. Brent Kidwell, Henderson or Josh Palmer, half PPR flex. The safe play is Josh Palmer.
The safe play is Palmer.
Play this week is Josh Palmer.
Yeah. The safe play is Palmer with the Chargers down so many weapons. Henderson's role is currently kind of unclear. I think he stays involved, but to that point, I think Sony remains the 1A. Palmer, I think, has a better chance. I do. Henderson's role feels a little more unsettled right now. And then Juan, we got a kicker question, Koo or Elliott. I think it should be Koo. I was intrigued by Jake Elliott this week. He has played well, like 3 of the past 4 games. He has put up a lot of fantasy points. His one dud of the year came against the Giants, where he only scored 1 point, and they're playing the Giants again. So that gave me a little bit of pause. I think the Eagles will be fine today, but Koo is in the much better situation. The Lions give up the most points to kickers for fantasy purposes this year. Falcons are at home. They should move the ball against the Lions defense. I think it's got to be Koo.
And Andrew Morgan, Saquon, Gage, Hollywood, PPR flex.
Gage,
and then Saquon, and then Hollywood.
Gage is safe. Saquon is an upside play with a lower floor.
Yeah.
Saquon's got the lower floor. I think Hollywood needs to be off the table with the third string quarterback. He hasn't been delivering recently. Gage is the safe play. If you think you need upside, then I understand wanting to go Saquon. If you think you can play it safe, I would play Gage.
And Joe Jackson, I see that you just subscribed. If you're in here, thank you very much. Or you subscribed
That's
about
awesome.
30 minutes ago, so thank you.
Appreciate
Much
that.
appreciated. Andrew Morgan, you're going Allen in a must-win game? Okay. Over Jalen Hurts? This poll is still pretty split.
So the poll is pretty split with a slight edge to the Hurts-Palmer side.
Yeah. Yep. So follow your gut, man. Follow your gut.
Go with your gut.
Ryan Carmella, I'm struggling after Swift isn't playing. My other running backs other than Homer that I can play are Tevin Coleman, DJ Dallas, and Zach Moss. I'd be playing DJ Dallas. I'd be playing Zach Moss over Homer.
Moss. I wouldn't play Moss. I would play
over
Dallas
Homer.
And
You wouldn't play Zach Moss over Travis Homer.
Oh yeah, no, I would.
Okay,
but I wouldn't play Moss over Dallas.
Oh no.
I would play Dallas.
I'd be playing DJ Dallas, then Zach Moss, then honestly Tevin Coleman, and then Travis Homer.
I would play Coleman over Moss. Moss is in the doghouse.
With no Breida, he is the RB2 this week. If anything were to happen to Devin Singletary during the game,
I know he's active.
Hey, it's just between these options.
He has fallen so far out of
DJ Dallas, we both agree. DJ Dallas is the way that you should
option. Go. Yeah.
Yep.
He falls into the end zone.
Fam first, what's happening? Start
Fam first.
3 PPR: Mixon, Madison, Rojo, Justin Jackson, McLaurin, Seattle, and okay, that's the. Well, you're starting Mixon, you're starting Madison, and we probably are in agreement that you should be starting Jackson. Start
the 3 running backs not named Rojo, and then Seattle or Cincy. Both good options. Seattle's probably got a slightly more favorable matchup against the Bears, who looked like they completely self-destructed on Monday night against the Vikings last week. Now they got to go on the road. Slight edge to Seattle at home, playing against Nick Foles. The Bengals are in a good spot as well, playing the Ravens and a third string quarterback. Both are good plays. It's kind of like a gut call. Do you want to play Seattle at home against Nick Foles, or do you want to play Cincinnati, against a beat-up Ravens team starting Josh Johnson? I think I lean Seattle, but both are fine.
And Rogelio Escada Jr., thank you for subbing. Appreciate you.
Oh, that's awesome. Appreciate it.
Yep. Alex, Russell Gage or TJ Moore? Russell Gage.
Gage.
Moore's
got the hamstring and the quarterback carousel. I don't trust TJ Moore.
And Gage is a solid wide receiver too, so go Gage.
Yep. Gage.
You're hoping for wide receiver 2 upside for Moore, and Gage, sure, about to get there. Slacker Hero, half PPR, pick 1.
Slacker?
Justin Jackson, Joe Mixon, Sony Michelle. I'm going Mixon.
Go with the RB1 who got you here.
Yep.
Go with the RB1 who got here, who got off of the injury report probably earlier than I would think a lot of people expected this week. Mixon.
And yeah, Daggers, Swift is inactive.
Swift is out.
I'd be going Josh Palmer.
Yes, I would not pivot to St. Brown. If anything, this offense gets a downgrade. They're down to their backup quarterback. Jamal Williams will still siphon enough work. Craig Reynolds would probably still see enough work. And because it's not full PPR, I'm not as in on St. Brown this week. I know he's been awesome recently, but give me Palmer and Gallup. I still prefer both of them.
And KMB fishing, AB engage.
There you go.
Starting.
Okay. Stick with it.
Solid.
Stick with it.
A, Justin Jackson or Amari Cooper PPR.
Jackson
over Cooper. Wow.
Cooper is an upside play, but the upside plays have not been there for Cooper this year. Jackson should see RB1 work in a phenomenal matchup. Jackson. I know Cooper's a big play. Cooper is a big upside play waiting to happen, but I would play Jackson.
And KMB fishing. Glad we could help.
Yeah,
and I'm glad your head is in the right place too.
You had it right.
Yeah,
you had it right.
Yep.
As far as I'm concerned.
Max Hunt, what's happening?
Max.
Thielen or Renfro? Thielen.
Play the touchdown scorer. Play the healthy touchdown scorer. I know Renfro's been a wide receiver 1, but Thielen can catch 2 touchdowns any given week, and he's at home. Apparently, he was close to playing last week. They ultimately erred on the side of caution. So I have less concerns about Thielen in his first game back, when apparently I feel like if it were a must-win situation last week, he would have played.
Yeah.
Or a more worthy opponent. Sorry, Bears. Thielen.
And he hate me. Thanks for joining us 2 days in a row.
He hate me.
Antonio Brown, Cooper, Chase. I need 2 of the 3. What should I do? AB and Chase.
AB and Chase.
Yep.
AB's got as good as upside as anybody on the slate. Chase is has been a wide receiver 1 this year. I don't care that he busted last week.
Great 1-2 punch this week.
Yep.
Wide receiver.
Chase. Play Chase. Cooper is an all or nothing, and there's been more nothing than all this year from him.
Yeah. Yep. Both are floor plays and ceiling plays. Go with those guys. Yep.
Brown and Chase. Chase at home. Yeah.
And Rogelio, again, thank you for subbing. Gordon or Renfro for the flex?
Scoring would help.
Would help.
If it's full PPR, Renfro. If it's half or standard, Gordon.
I agree.
I don't know why I said scoring would help, because that's just kind of if it was full PPR, Renfro. If it's half or standard, Gordon.
There you go.
Great matchup for Melvin Gordon.
There you go. And George Tech. I said Georgia Tech before. It's Georgia Tech. My bad. George Tech. Sony Michel or Miles Sanders or CEH. You need 15 points, and CEH has played trash with Mahomes vulturing everything. But in this game,
no Travis Kelce is a big potential boost.
And with a little bit of wind coming into play, I mean, they might be opting for more short passes versus long ones. You might see more CEH in the past game than you would have in the past few games. All are decent options this week, but if I'm going for the ceiling play of getting at least 15 points, I think I'm going CEH.
Clyde. Miles Sanders would be second here, just because the Eagles have been running the ball better than anybody as a team collectively recently. But Clyde should see a little bit more work today. No Kelce. Yeah, to the point about the weather, it's going to be easier to run the ball than throw the ball in 15 to 20 mile per hour winds. And the Pittsburgh Steelers are a run funnel defense these days. Clyde.
And Brett McCoy, good morning, man.
What's up, Brett?
How you doing? Non-PPR, Gibson, Freeman, Patterson, Jarrett Patterson, Reynolds, and T. Palmer. Is that Jay Palmer?
Or is that Josh Palmer? Gibson.
Gibson if he plays, and if he doesn't,
you can swerve to Patterson.
Yeah.
Gibson. Play your, I mean, of these options, play your RB1, despite the fact that he's banged up, despite the fact that it's a bad matchup. Freeman lost work last week to Latavius Murray. Now he's got to go on the road with a third-string quarterback. Reynolds, kind of similar situation. He fell off a little bit last week. Now he gets to deal. Now he's got to play with a backup quarterback, and Jamal Williams is back. I like Palmer, but Gibson in standard over Palmer.
Yeah, I would agree.
And if Gibson is ultimately ruled out, which we don't expect, but crazier things have happened, you have Patterson ready to rock. So Gibson.
And Ryan Evans, Devontae Parker, or Emmanuel Sanders, PPR. I am going Emmanuel Sanders.
I say Parker.
Yeah, we're gonna be split on this one.
We're split. I like Parker I like Parker as a floor play in a situation where I think the Dolphins offense potentially benefits from some short fields, courtesy of the Saints offense. Sanders' opportunity is there, down Gabe Davis, down Cole Beasley, but he hasn't cracked 30 yards receiving in a month. So
because those two options were playing ahead of him, and now they're not playing.
I know.
I'm just making my point for Sanders over Parker. I understand. Because you made your point for Parker over Sanders. So we're split on this one, Ryan. I'm sorry we can't give you a definitive answer there. Neither are bad options. We're just split on who you should be edging over the other. So it's a preferential thing. We've had a few of those answers today. So
he meant Brett meant Tony Pollard, not
Tony Pollard. I'd still go with that, with what we said.
Go with Gibson, but maybe swerve to Pollard if Gibson is out, not Patterson.
If Gibson is out, I mean, I would be going. Patterson's getting all the work, man.
Yeah, but it could be rough sledding in a bad matchup.
But Patterson's getting all the work and he's not injured.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, stick with the plan.
Yeah.
Stick with the plan.
I like Pollard, but Patterson. And we're split, Ryan. Sorry. Wish we could give you a little bit more of a definitive answer there, but nature of the beast sometimes. Kyle Nohe, what's happening? How you doing, man?
Kyle Nohe?
Good morning. Justin Jackson or CeeDee Lamb for PPR flex?
Oh, the AJ Brown. Yeah, I'm definitely happy I put the AJ Brown video out. I think I hopefully helped a few people with that.
Yep.
As far as Jackson or CeeDee, with having AJ Brown, I think you can play it safe, which I think is Jackson.
Playing it safe is the running back is usually
the running back is playing it safe. CeeDee is safe as well with plenty of upside, but also the Cowboys offense has not been playing the best the past couple of weeks. I personally don't put that much stock into it. This is still an offense that can go off at any time against anybody. Jackson's got a great match. They both have good matchups. Jackson should see RB1 work. The full PPR obviously gives a big boost to CeeDee. That's a gut call for me, Kyle Nohe. It's so close, which is wild to talk about Justin Jackson and CeeDee Lamb being so close because it should be a landslide for CeeDee Lamb, but Jackson is in a smash spot today. He's in a smash spot with the Chargers down multiple weapons, but against one of the worst run defenses in the NFL.
And with the player that he's replacing being the best and most utilized PPR running back in the league.
Right.
With
no clear alternative.
CeeDee Lamb is the wide receiver 12 right now, so he is a low-end wide receiver one. So do you go with the should be RB2 with RB1 work? I mean, RB2, RB1 workload type guy, but with RB3 talent, or do you go with the CeeDee Lamb, who's the low-end wide receiver one? It's a tough question.
I might say I'll stick with what I said. Jackson is the safe play. CeeDee is also safe with a little bit more upside, but maybe this week specifically, his floor is a little lower.
Yeah.
I don't know that totally answers the question, Kyle Nohe, but at the end of the day, I think this is a gut call. Both should be fine.
And Brett, thank you very much for the super.
Super Brett, sticker. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Let's get to your question.
Appreciate it.
Chase, Bourne, or St. Brown, non-PPR. Chase got me here.
Chase got you here.
Chase got you here. Keep going with Chase.
I think Chase should be your guy over. Yep, I think Chase should be your guy. Bourne's got a tough matchup despite Tre'Davious White being out. It's still a good defense. And St. Brown's playing with a backup quarterback. The Lions are not good. Give me Chase. In the best situation, for fantasy purposes, best quarterback of this group. At home, been a wide receiver one this year, multiple weeks, plenty of weeks. Chase.
And Ryan, I'd be going St. Brown of those options with no Swift. Of those options.
Yeah, Robbie Anderson can't be trusted with the quarterback carousel. Kadarius Toney, I'm off Kadarius. I know he's back. I know he's playing. He's down to a third string quarterback. The Giants are a mess. St. Brown.
Yeah.
This is a situation where I'm okay with St. Brown.
Yeah. Because of that
Hill,
Swift news. But
yeah. He's
and
a little
Palmer,
bit more enticing.
Jay Hill, I'm going Palmer. Yeah.
Palmer over Mooney.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yup. I agree with that. Palmer over Mooney. Situation's just better. You don't
and
have to worry
Alec
about
Crom,
weather.
PPR, but we're going Javonte. Javonte over everybody.
Man.
Javonte over everybody.
Tell the world. Javonte over everybody. Yeah. Justin Jackson should see an RB1 workload. Javonte Williams has been delivering low RB or safe RB2 weeks with RB1 upside all year. In a phenomenal matchup by the numbers, the Raiders give up plenty of production to running backs. Javonte.
And Brett, thank you again for the super.
Yeah,
Under
thanks,
the sun,
Brett.
I'm going Gronk, and this is a tougher question. They're both very high-end tight ends this week. They're both in the tight end one, the high-end top 5, top 6 tight end one discussion. Both are honestly in the top 3 tight end one discussion.
Both are down. Both are on offenses down multiple weapons.
Gronk.
I say Gronk. I think Gronk's ceiling is a little higher.
Yep.
In a matchup that is much less scary. Gronk.
Yep. And Carl, no, he appreciate it.
Yeah. Always happy to help, even if we don't necessarily give a direct answer.
Yeah, we hope you win.
Sometimes the answer is in the analysis because then, again, it comes down to
what you want to do for your team.
Yeah. Yep. Comes down to what you want to do for your team. We can only try to help get you there with breaking it down.
D Money, Jackson or Madison?
Madison. Go with the proven RB1 when Dalvin Cook doesn't play. Like the past 4 or 5 games where Dalvin Cook has missed, Madison has put up an RB1 week. Madison.
Nathan Roberts, is Kamara a top 5 running back this week with the rookie quarterback debuting in his first start? He is going to be top 5 usage.
Yeah, he's got top 5 upside, but I would not peg him.
I don't think he sees top 5.
He's top
points
10
at the end of the day.
Like he's in your lineup. He's top 10. He's not he should see plenty of work. He should see all the work he can handle.
And he's talented enough to do what he does normally with the work.
Right.
It's just and it's not like he's had the best quarterbacks to work with all season. So it should just be another day in the office for Kamara, and he might see some more work. Which he's in your lineup.
Got some breaking news from is this FanDuel? The Raiders have added Bryan Edwards to the reserve COVID list. For what it's worth, Bryan Edwards is out this
Foster
week.
Moreau season.
Foster Moreau gets a big boost. Hunter Renfrow will continue to get all the work he can handle.
Zay Jones is now a sneaky wide receiver, a low-end wide receiver 3 play.
I'll say wide receiver 5.
Okay.
Still a wide receiver 5.
Okay.
It's just a bad matchup. Hasn't done enough this year.
He's done more than Bryan Edwards. So if we're saying Bryan Edwards is
has
out,
he?
Yes. Bryan Edwards had a good game last game because he scored a touchdown, but that's
Edwards has done more than Zay Jones this year. Come
look
on.
It up.
There's no way.
Look it up.
All right, I will. In the meantime, Nathan Kamara top 5 usage, maybe more like a top 10 projection.
Yeah,
still have to be penciled in.
He's in your lineup. You're not moving off of him.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
And David Meacher, what's happening?
David?
Ronald Jones or Josh Jacobs? Josh Jacobs, PPR for sure.
We're
just not on the Ronald Jones train, so Josh Jacobs, that's easy.
Kenyon Drake is out. I think Jalen Richard is back for the Raiders. For what that's worth, he does siphon.
It doesn't matter to me. We're playing almost everybody over Ronald Jones, and Josh Jacobs is a solid RB2. So
Jacobs gets work at home, and again, they just lost Bryan Edwards, so maybe so a couple more touches might get funneled Jacobs' way. Jacobs, and appreciate
Patty,
the kind words.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it as always. Thank you for being here. Thanks for your questions.
Yeah.
Patty, pick one PPR. Thielen, Lockett, Waddle. Lockett or Thielen?
It's Lockett or Thielen. Thielen
Thielen
is a safe touchdown play. Lockett is also safe, maybe a little bit more boom. but also maybe a lower floor than Thielen. Lockett's been a wide receiver.
This poll is still very evenly split. We got 30 votes in here, and it's still at 53-47. That's wild.
I know.
So hey, yeah, I don't know. It's either or.
Go with your gut.
Preference. And D Money, Javonte, or Madison, full PPR.
Did we answer Patty?
This is gonna break Nick's heart to have to choose between these two guys.
It is going to break my heart choosing between these two. I think you have to give a slight edge to Madison because of the expected volume. But I love Javonte. That's an impossible question. Javonte is awesome, but Madison is proven to be awesome when Dalvin Cook misses. And Dalvin Cook is missing today.
I'd be going Madison.
Slight edge to Madison, but both are good options. Real quick, Patty, I'll just reiterate. I'm not sure if we totally finished the thought on your question. Thielen is a safe play. Lockett is also safe, but a little bit more boom bust. If you need some upside, I would say maybe Lockett. Safe play is Thielen. Waddle is a great option, but between these three, he would be third for me. Just wanted to finish that thought off.
And we got one question from Daggers and one from Tajikarp, and then I think we're gonna try to end this a little bit early because I got some things to do before 1 o'clock.
Sure.
Well, we just got two more in here, so let's run through these pretty quick. Who are you going with these defenses?
Between Kansas City, Seattle, and Cincinnati, I will take Kansas City, Daggers. This defense is playing really well. Ben Roethlisberger is easily exploitable, especially on the road. The weather might be a factor here a little bit. It could impact both offenses, but Kansas City's just playing well right now, and I expect them to win the game. I expect them to beat the Steelers. Whenever I like picking defenses where I think they will win the game. Creates opportunities at the end of the game for the opposing offense to make mistakes. Seattle and Cincinnati, you can feel good about winning as well, but Kansas City has Patrick Mahomes, so that tips the scales for me. I like the Kansas City defense to be opportunistic today at home against Pittsburgh and a struggling Ben Roethlisberger.
Yep. And Tajikarp, I'm going Barrios. And I'm
over
going
Carmen. Yep, I'm fine with that.
I'm going Bills D.
Bills defense. If you need the upside, definitely Barrios over Mecole. Barrios should be just fine for PPR, so I agree there. If you need the upside, I would maybe play the Bills. The Chiefs are a safe play. The Bills should also be safe, but they've been this year the overall, start to finish, they've been the better defense. I think I give a slight edge to the Bills. Both are good options this week, though.
Yep, go with Barrios and the Bills.
Slight edge to the Bills.
Thanks for your question, bro. Thanks for your question. And you got Palmer in there, too. I'd be going Palmer over both of those guys. Over Barrios and Hardman. Play Palmer.
And it's
I see that in your question below.
Palmer
for sure.
Attached to the better quarterback. Plenty of opportunities opened up. No Eckler, no Mike Williams, no Jalen Guyton. Palmer.
Yep. Austin Bidwell, what's going on, man?
Austin?
Would you start Palmer as a wide receiver 2 over Hollywood? Yes. Yep.
Hollywood has to be downgraded significantly, not just because of the QB3. He just hasn't been doing it the past few weeks. Hasn't been getting it done. I know Lamar's been hurt, but Huntley was playing well when he was in there. So, Hollywood was okay. He was decent. He wasn't getting those ceiling weeks that he was at the beginning of the season. Palmer with all of the opportunity in the world ahead of him today.
Yep. Hope that helps, bro. Hope you win this week. New Era TB, what's happening? Thanks for joining us.
What's up, New Era?
Another difficult question for
this
Nick.
Is gonna
this one
you're
gonna need the format. This one
this
we need the
This is
format.
gonna break my brain. I think AB in
while
full
we wait
PPR.
for the format, I'm just gonna say D Money, go Javonte over Rojo, hands down.
Yes,
But
Javonte
New Era,
over Rojo.
throw us the format.
If you can play Madison and Javonte, do it. If you can play them both, do
format, New Era.
I think AB in full PPR. New Era. And in half, that's tough. Are there any bonuses? Standard, I would play Javonte. Full PPR, I would play AB. Half PPR,
AB safer. AB
is safer. Javonte might be more of an upside play.
I'm only playing Javonte in that situation in standard. In any sort of PPR format, I'm going AB because I think he's going to get.
John's very high on AB.
I think he's going to get.
He's preparing for AB to pop
against him. He's the wide receiver 1 this week.
Yeah, I think he's got as good a chance as anybody.
Yeah. And Andrew McGrady, you related to Tracy? No. All right. Damian Harris or Sony? PPR. We've gotten this question before, and I think we went Harris because he was a little bit safer. Because we weren't sure what's going to happen with Henderson.
Harris feels a little safer. Harris feels a little safer because I'm not unconvinced about Darrell Henderson's role and what it is. Harris has no Ramondre Stevenson and had a big run for a touchdown against this defense a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
Harris. A new era. It's full PPR. AB.
Boom week.
Booming. Business is booming.
DB striker. Lamb or Javonte in the flex. Full PPR. Javonte.
I can't, this is where we're at. Like, CeeDee Lamb is taking a back seat to a guy like Javonte Williams. Javonte's got top 15 running back upside every week.
And Nathan Roberts, Schultz or Andrews. This is tough. Schultz has been the TE7 and Andrews has been the TE1, and he was the TE1 by far with Huntley in there because he was Huntley's first, second, and third read on every play when he was passing the ball.
Stick with your stud.
That might be the case again for the third string quarterback. I think
Schultz has been good this year.
Third string quarterbacks, second and third string quarterbacks target their tight ends. We saw it happen with Colt McCoy and Zach Ertz. I just because it's the third string quarterback, that means we're off of the wide receivers. But tight ends, you might get a little bit of a PPR boost from having second and third string quarterbacks in there.
Big safe target for a backup quarterback. Andrews. Yep.
And Andrew is your favorite childhood athlete. Hey man, he was one of mine. Nice. I had the T-Mac 2s. I had the T-Mac 3 shoes. I had the hats and the shirts. The black and the blue. Oh man, he was. I used to. There was a solid 2 to 3 year period where the only shoe that I wore was a Tracy McGrady shoe.
T-Mac.
Those all blues. Awesome. Oh man, yeah. And I'm not even a shoe guy. I'm not. But yeah, as a teen, Tracy McGrady was my favorite basketball player and one of my favorite athletes for sure too.
There you go.
All right, I gotta wrap this up because I got a few things to do before 1 p.m.
Okay.
DB striker.
He's firing up Palmer over Hollywood. Fine with it. Fine with that. Fine with that call.
And Edward Reyes, start Amari Cooper.
Yeah, Cooper over Reynolds because Jamal Williams is in there. Yeah, play Cooper. I know he's more of like a boom bust wide receiver 3 this year, but at home in prime time, the matchup is good. That's enough of a tier break for me where I'm playing Cooper over Reynolds. But I think we're at time, everybody.
Yep. If anybody has any more questions leading up to 1 p.m. or even after that, throw them in the comment section of this video or any other video. And we'll get to them before and hopefully we'll be able to help you out before time comes for the cutoff. But thank you very much for everybody being in here. Thank you for all the supers. Thank you for all the subbers. Thank you for all the chats. Thank you for the super
all the
sticker.
Questions. Appreciate everybody. Yeah, appreciate everybody being in here.
Yeah.
Let's get these wins. Let's go to the finals, and hopefully we'll see y'all next week.
Yes, sir. Hey, everybody, have a great week.
Happy football, everybody.
See you Tuesday, hopefully.